Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 194, baby, presented by Hair Club.
Hair Club. I had a good weekend, baby.
Did you?
Went to a concert, and El Monstero, Pink Floyd cover band. You're like, oh, cool, Pink Floyd cover band. No. Let me tell all y'all something. These guys kick ass. They're all from St. Louis. They're called El Monstero. They put so much money into their performance. They only do it a handful of times a year. They are unbelievable. And if you like to get your mind right and fucking kick back and listen to Pink Floyd, that's probably better than Roger Waters and David Gilmour, who will, these guys are fucking badass. So I'm going to give them a shout out. That's it.
Okay. This is the second or third time. You did invite me.
Did I invite you?
Yeah, you said you should come with us. I said I can't.
Oh, okay. We did.
Yeah. Okay, this is the second or third time you've gone to see these guys.
I know.
So, listen, Pink Floyd is cool.
Oh, man.
I can only imagine what kind of concert that, you just kind of like whatever.
People are tripping out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, so there's like concert etiquette too, right? Mm-hmm. And we're in a box, and I won't go there if I'm on I'm a fancy lad. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck. I admit it. We get hooked up. It is all good. But, like, if you're sitting in the front row, there's a couple like ladies, like hippie chicks,
mm-hmm.
on probably LSD,
mm-hmm.
and they're just standing the whole time. And it's not like a stand the whole time kind of concert. You want to like chill,
mm-hmm.
and it's fucking laid back. And this lady's like, like waving around like one of those like flags at a car dealership. That's like those. And, like, people are behind her. I'm like, oh, I have to stand now because this woman's
Is there a flag at a car dealership?
Like the inflatable things that go, yeah.
Like her body's moving like one of those inflatable Gumby-looking things?
Very bizarre. That's why, and the people behind her are like, what the fuck? You can't even talk to her because she's tripping out. But anyway.
Okay. A couple of things. First off, you're wearing a short-sleeve shirt with a hood.
Oh, I got it for free.
No, it's got a hood on it, and it's a short-sleeve T-shirt. I've never seen one of these things
ever. It's a Cardinal I get free Cardinal giveaway stuff because Jimmy the Cat Hayes works for the same station you work for,
mm-hmm.
Bailey's,
mm-hmm.
and he hooks me up with I got an Arenado jersey the other day.
Cool. Are you going to wear it?
Cool.
No, he is cool, but do you wear, like, jerseys?
Fuck no.
You wear, like, short-sleeve T-shirts with a hood, dude. That's very interesting. I did it today because
I sweated through my other shirt because I already worked for 3 hours on a radio show.
I have been on an absolute tour as of late, visiting different countries, traveling international, going through customs, speaking several different languages. Montreal is where I just was. Of course, the draft was there. Everybody in hockey's all geared up. Everyone's throwing out like this name and that name. Like, we're going to have this monster trade here, trade there. We saw some movement and saw some guys get signed. But I will say, Montreal, man, and we've got listeners who live out there in Montreal.
Yeah, we do.
One of the coolest cities
it is
that are out there. It's an unbelievable place. If you've never been there, you should go go everywhere.
You know why that's good-looking women?
Because they speak French?
No, Andy, because King Louis the 14th
mm-hmm.
brought when they owned it.
Yeah.
Brought over all these prostitutes, and they fucking did it up. And I'm just saying, he brought over a bunch of beautiful women, and they reproduced.
A lot of Russian women there, too.
Dude, I'm just saying.
There's Russian women.
Tall, beautiful, blonde. They speak French, and you're like, God, that's so sexy. It's very intimidating when you don't have confidence. To go there as an American
mm-hmm.
and try to wheel chicks there, it's very intimidating, in my opinion.
You want to know what one of the most impressive things is? Is like these guys, like they'll just like start going nuts in like French, and then they say the exact same thing in like English. It's like back to back.
Oh, they'll be like,
they're like, and then like start telling you the English version. I'm like, how does their brain react?
Well, because that's what you do when you speak French and you're around people that speak English all the time.
Dude, it's very impressive.
Anybody that you were in the locker room, but if you really know the guys in the locker room, when they go back and
they can go back and forth.
They can go back and forth with that because they have to. Look, you're on an island up there with French, but everywhere else you go is English.
I went to several different restaurants. I went to a Vietnamese restaurant, dude. This guy, he speaks English, French, Vietnamese, and Mandarin.
God damn.
I'm like, oh my God. I go, you know what opportunities are out there for you? If you can speak Mandarin, now if you ever want to learn another language, you can speak Mandarin, you can do anything you want in this world, man.
I don't know about that.
No, you can hit international sales, international law, international politics, dude. They are looking for you if you can speak Mandarin.
Yeah, you're setting yourself aside.
Translation, all that.
I get that. Yeah, you could just make phone calls all damn day.
You're making a ton of money, dude, if you can speak Mandarin.
Well, I can't. and you can't.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
You do not. You have so much you're juggling as it is, Andy. You
want to test me next week and see how much I've learned of Mandarin? Because I guarantee you we can.
Did you do anything cool there though? Like,
oh yeah.
Like who'd you hang out with?
Well, the Montreal. Well, I got together with a couple of agents actually.
Anybody cool?
A buddy of mine actually from here who's like a president of a bank, dude. Who's from Montreal. Cool as shit.
Cool setup there.
He would just happen to be there visiting his parents, and he had his kids. But he came out one night. I went to the Montreal Jazz Festival, actually, which was right down the street. It was very cool. It was packed.
I go cruise around that.
And I kind of enjoyed the people watching. Some of the other folks that I like, they weren't into going to listen to music, man. I sat on that lawn and got a couple cocktails and just chilled. And I did some people watching. People are dancing everywhere, and I love festivals, and I like jazz music too, man.
No one to hang out with you, did they?
That not sucks. There, but we went to lunch and dinner.
Well, weren't you like, let's go
that.
Fucking hang? I would have hung out with you all damn day.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Why wouldn't I go to this?
People just want to like go to dinner and go home and whatever. But
I was thinking about
that. But I will say, but then after the draft, whatever, I met up with some people and we had a good time, and it's just I like exploring cities when I'm there. I'm not one of those that just goes from the room to the hotel bar and back up to the room. I want to walk around. I want to see what's going on. And I don't mind. Listen, I don't like traveling by myself. But when you're there for work and you've got somewhere to be and you've got stuff to do, I don't mind exploring a city by myself during the day either and walking around and cruising around, dude.
Sometimes it's nice to travel by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a hotel.
But I wouldn't go on vacation by myself. I get lonely, dude.
Who does that?
I don't like sleeping by myself in hotel rooms.
Andy, why would you? I do.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
It's kind of nice to have quiet time, but like, I don't know.
You could do it. You want.
I know.
And like, look, I'm around Kate every fucking day. Like sometimes it's like, you're going to Schnucks? Oh, okay, good. It's nice to be by yourself once in a while. I'll go to the fucking bar at the airport.
It is.
Do that. And not that I'm not doing it with Kate, but it's like, you could go to I'd like to go, I'd like to go sit at different restaurants and talk to people.
Yeah.
Not weird, but just fucking talk to people.
But I do like the fact, listen, the draft, everybody in hockey's in one location. People are around everywhere.
Dude.
But, especially after the first night, whatever, you don't get out until after 11 o'clock or what. People don't like to hang out late night. But I love exploring, especially a city that's awake and is alive, and there's a lot of action and activity, man. I'm not into...
How was Customs?
I want to explore. Customs was great.
Okay.
Very easy. I've heard all the nightmare stories about, traveling in and out of Canada. And I talked to a number of people there who actually had some nightmare, issues just getting into Canada, delayed flights and all that. But very easy getting there. On the way home, we had some delays and whatever. I tried poutine for the first time.
Fuck that shit. Fucking nasty. I don't care how hot you are. If you're eating poutine and I'm trying to hang out with you all night, like I got to give it like 48 hours.
Oh my God, really?
Because you can't get down with it,
dude.
Because that stuff's coming back out of her, and you're like, I don't care how it's just not.
It's
sexy.
poutine, by the way.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all.
So listen, I got some poutine. I had asked if this was like authentic, and they said it was. And listen, I've been to Montreal several times, and I just had never tried it in the past. Dude, I could, well, it was gross. I didn't like it.
Disgusting.
I had like a couple bites of it. I had to throw it away.
I
can't have that sitting in my stomach all day long.
And go out to dude, I have to worry about what I put in my fucking stomach because I know things might go down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to go to the bathroom, and I get worried and awkward that people are around me like, when my tummy hurts, or on a plane, or at a jazz festival, or whatever.
Everybody's smoking darts. Everywhere.
But I'd rather than like...
They're smoking darts
doobies.
And eating poutine. Well, they're smoking doobies everywhere, too, on the street.
I was going to ask you that. They hitting it up? That's kind of cool.
No, it's legal throughout Canada.
Yeah, okay.
Throughout the entire country. People are just... I mean, honestly...
If you go to England, at the beginning, I'm like, wow, they're all smoking doobies. No, they're rolling cigarettes. They roll cigarettes. And I'm like, and they're shitty. It's kind of weird. No one smokes that much weed over there. I don't think.
No, in Montreal, at least at the Jazz Fest, I mean, people are just smoking everywhere.
It up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were doing that Elmont Stereo. We had a great time. Oh, Lord. I love going to concerts, man.
I would have gone to that. Oh, yeah. You would have gone to that
with you, dude.
I don't know. At the same time, I don't want to go to a jazz festival with people I don't want to hang out with either. You just want to be able to, like, roam around and do your thing.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd be talking.
But nobody wanted to go.
I like to talk to people. Like, what are you doing?
It was right down the street. It's a big event in Montreal.
Find some people that are doing some fun things.
Oh, dude, I talked to a number of people.
Like, what are you doing?
There's like a whole group of people. They're like ballroom dancing, like these older, like Montreal, like Quebec natives. And they're just like ballroom. I took a video or two. I got to put that up.
Elderly folk?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
I mean, I'm probably not going to hang out with them.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Hey,
But they had,
can I say
they
something?
had like 3 different stages though, Cam. They had music here, there,
like
there,
different
all
things.
over. Yeah.
All
it
right.
was
So
cool.
the dude gets drafted. You know, it's about him, and you'll know who I'm talking about in a second. The dude gets drafted. Forgot his name because it doesn't matter about him. It's because his goddamn parents had a motherfucking makeout session.
Oh, the French kissing?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why are you making it about you? You're making out? Like, that makes you horny? So you're horny? Your son gets drafted, and that makes you horny.
Cam.
Because when you put tongue in your wife, how many times you make out tongue with your wife when you're getting down with it? You don't make out with your wife, do you? Are you a make out guy?
Okay.
No, you're not.
Time
no,
out.
No.
Time out.
You kiss your fucking wife.
You don't even know.
What do you
'Cause
mean I don't know?
They're French kissing. That's what they do in French.
I don't think that's that. Why is everybody making a big deal of it? Why didn't other French people do it? Why isn't everybody have a makeout session?
Isn't that why they call it a French kiss?
Andy, that's ridiculous. And the camera's on you, and you're like, my son,
Oh my
I'm
God.
horny now. What
know.
the fuck is
What
wrong
if
with
that
you?
was your parents, dude,
Oh, I would
just
have kicked the
making
shit out
out
of them.
like that?
No. I would have. My mom and dad high-fived me, and I'm like, what the fuck? We're like, yes. That was bizarro. If I'm the kid, I'm like, gee, thank you, mom and dad. Thank you for that. Weird.
Yeah,
Poor kid.
I didn't understand that either.
No, you didn't understand. Don't act like you understand.
I mean,
that's
but
goofy.
I thought, honestly, I really thought maybe it was a cultural thing, and that's why they call it the French
they
kiss.
kiss each other and stuff.
It was all out, like deep throat. Like, I mean, it's very
Your son
acceptable.
getting drafted made him horny.
It's
That's
very
weird.
acceptable there in Montreal. I was around a number of people who were doing
Get out
that
of here.
at the
Get
Jazz
outta here.
Festival.
Goofy. Don't be goofy.
People at the Jazz Festival are doing that
looked
all over.
Stupid. It looks stupid. No one else did that.
They're very happy.
They're horny.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, there is. When your son's getting drafted, you shouldn't be horny.
I think
Goofy,
this should become a thing. I think more parents, when their kids get drafted,
Why would
should
you want
just
to watch?
go for it.
You are weird.
That came out of nowhere, though.
Help
I mean,
me. Don't.
come on now.
You're gonna get bashed.
What'd you think of the dude who dressed all like in that white
He
suit,
said,
Isaac Howard?
I like it. He's probably not gonna make anything because sometimes when you're that loud, you just probably don't make it. But I hope he does for like hockey's sake if he's cool like that.
Listen, I didn't have a problem with the suit. I thought the suit. Actually, I didn't even like the suit.
It's like a.
I mean, he went with like a
80s
midnight blue turtleneck. You got to go with a different color or something.
He was like that show in the 80s.
Miami Vice?
Yeah.
It wasn't. It looked like a cheap suit.
I don't know
though.
what he was doing. Dude, he didn't make any money yet.
Dude, all those kids are wearing like those first round picks.
I know.
They're all wearing $1,000 suits.
Yeah, because their agent takes care of them.
100%, dude. They got the inside.
That was dumb on
What
my
do you think
part.
they go to like Joseph A. Bank and get like a buy one get one free? Like, what do you think this
maybe
is?
their agent's cheap. I don't know.
Well, so anyway, so I understand he was trying to go for style. Shoes weren't good. I looked like a cheap suit. I didn't like the turtleneck or whatever. But I like people who want to stand out and have that confidence. Like if I was walking to the stage and like 50 Cent is blaring, and I just got drafted into the first round of the NHL.
50 Cent was blaring?
Oh, a couple of them had like different like I don't think they picked their walk up song.
Oh, really?
But they had a different song.
Oh, okay.
Piping through the arena every time a player is walking up to the stage to get their jersey. And like a couple of them had like 50 Cent. I was like, dude, I wouldn't even be able to control myself. I'd just start dancing on the way up there.
Oh yeah,
you
wouldn't get drafted anyway. But I like the kid. Like I don't care about a suit. Like be goofy. I kind of like that. But you better back it up.
But the comments were like he said it like it was like premeditated because he said it on a couple of different broadcasts.
He knows what he's doing. He's like, yeah, I was gonna get.
And I don't know. He was the leading scorer for the U.S. program. He's small. He's not a big kid. You're going
he ain't
to
the best
you're going
looking kid
to
there either, just so he knows.
Yeah, you're going to Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah.
And it's a veteran locker room. Like I mean, obviously he's probably going to go to college first. I would imagine being a U.S. kid. So I don't know exactly where he's going, but regardless, I don't know. It was loud. I don't have a problem with personality, but it's
Stupid
different.
Fucking
it's
telemarketers
different.
call me.
It stands out. It stands out in hockey because people aren't used to that.
Yeah, but you gotta look. It's irrelevant if you're playing in the American League. Sorry.
What do you mean?
You could be the funniest guy in the American League and no one gives a shit.
You don't think he'll make it?
No, I didn't say that. But if you're going to be cool, you might as well be cool in the show doing it. Because if you're cool in the American League, not many people care.
Dude,
Does that make sense?
I don't know. Whatever.
Well,
I mean, yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, you better, like, now that you put yourself out there
go
like
do
that,
it.
to
Be
the
man,
universe,
and it'll work.
Like,
but it's like, oh, he's cool, but he's in American League.
All
Nothing
of a
wrong with
sudden,
being in American League, but you know.
Yeah, if you don't make it and you don't back it up and all this, like, you're gonna look like an idiot.
I know.
Like, you can't do that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's got that confidence, dude. He's got that swag.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I don't have a
go
problem
do it
with
then.
that.
Go do it.
So if you're Philip Forsberg and you sign for $70 million, and then you leave for your bachelor party, can you tell me what this bachelor party is going to look like?
You just don't get yourself in a jam, dude. You know. So I just make sure none of your dipshit fuck buddies, because bachelor parties I don't go to. I don't give a fuck who it is. I ain't going to it with you.
Why not?
Because I don't hang out with.
I've got a couple you can go to.
Yeah,
actually.
I'm sure that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I don't hang out 10 swinging dicks. I don't care who the fuck they
what
are.
If, what
I
if
don't
your,
like
what if your
in,
buddy just made 70 million? Dude, that's part of the tradition.
I got buddies that have more money than that, and we have fun, and we're not around 10 swinging dicks. They're like, because you know you have to invite the one kid that you don't really like because he's part of the family. Mm-hmm. He's going to be like, girls, Pappy Le Pew. No, I ain't fucking with that. Mm-hmm. I don't hang out with 10 swinging dicks. I don't give a shit where we're going. And things going to get weird, and one of the dipshits is probably going to be like, what are we doing? I'm going to film Kuznetsov style and film something of something, and something's going to get fucked up after you just sign this goddamn deal, because you have to hang out with at least a couple dipshits because they're part of the fucking family.
I just think, like, hey, he's like, hey, we're going to get this done. It better get done before I leave for this bachelor party.
Yeah, no doubt. I know. Well, I know, Andy. I'm just saying, it's like, I don't go on them, dude. Don't invite me. I ain't going. I never did. I turned down my best friends, Jason and Travis.
That's weird, man.
I know.
That's not being a good friend.
No, okay, fine. I made up to it 50 times over.
No, like you get invited to the bachelor.
What'd you do for your friends?
What are you afraid for?
What did you do for your friends? I took care of my friends before they even thought of making money, dude.
Why are you
I took care of all of them.
Uncomfortable at a bachelor party?
Because of 10 swinging dicks.
And all you can leave and go as you want.
I'm going to go leave them then? I'm going to go down there and leave and hang out with other people, then be more of a dick? I just won't go. And be honest with you, my buddy Jason's bachelor party was at Lake of the Ozarks in late August, right before Blues training camp. And I ain't doing it. Mm-hmm. And the way they partied down there, I'm glad I didn't do it. So I made the right decision.
You go on these bachelor parties and you get stuck. You're on a party bus. You're on a boat or whatever. And
a rented boat.
There's no way to get away from it.
It's a rented boat. The setup wasn't there. I'm sorry, dude. I would have been, something would have happened, and I would have been, why is Cam partying down at a bachelor party a week before training camp too? I couldn't do it.
It's not about you. It's about, maybe if you're leaving for camp in a week or two.
What the fuck you mean? It's not about me. I know. Well, it is about me if I go down there and I'm on the camera.
For your cousin. It's the bachelor party.
I just couldn't do it, homie. I just couldn't do it to all of them. And then after that, I just refused to go to all of them. I get these cameo requests, and people are going on a bachelor party, and I got to give them.
I get a lot of these.
But I got to give them like advice about that. Like, make sure the dipshit dude doesn't fuck you all over in a weird way, and don't do anything stupid because your buddy's like, just don't do it, because don't get into a jam before you fucking marry this woman who's devoting her life to you. I'm telling you, don't put yourself behind the 8 ball off the bat.
That's your advice?
Yeah, man. 100%.
So tell me what this bachelor party looked like, though, after he just signed 70.
I don't know, homie. I'd rather have like I'd rent a fucking island out, and I'd go hang out that way and have it all catered and do things that way. Or so, I don't know what I do, but I don't know.
What'd you think of Shane Wright staring down the Montreal?
Stare him down, dude. Stare him down.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Shit.
You know, listen.
Hey, they drafted that big ass fucking big Slovak. Old boy. 2 Slovaks right off the bat.
Dude, Slovak hockey's back, dude.
Dude, they're 17 playing against 30-year-olds, right? Yeah. Aren't they playing for their?
Well,
they were playing against.
They played in the Olympics and stuff like that.
What I'm saying, like, yeah. So these guys, and you look at their numbers, like, okay, they had like 4 goals, whatever. But these big ass kids are bumping around 30-year-old men, not 19-year-old.
You see that in Finland and Sweden and stuff like that too. KHL.
That's how you become a man. At 7. They were 17.
Because the junior leagues aren't as aren't as strong as what you find here in North America.
Be a man
so these kids are so good, they play them in the top league. In some cases, you know, in the countries that they're from,
and they're probably doing good.
Oh yeah,
and they're fucking.
But
17.
Shane Wright is like, see, here's how I took Shane Wright.
Yeah.
Shane Wright, one of these kids, he gets the exceptional status. Everyone always raves about,
right.
Which, I'm not a big fan of anyway. I don't think, everyone needs exceptional status. Yeah. Like, what is this proven that it really gets you? It just puts you on the radar. You're under the microscope. Everyone's paying attention to you and expecting you to do things that maybe you're not ready to do. Like, he had 94 points in the OHL. Like, it's a good season. It's nothing like historic by any means. And he was captain. But you had starting to, hear rumblings from scouts and whatever being like, I don't know, he's not like a McDavid or a McKinnon. It's not a slam dunk that he goes first overall. And nobody would have been surprised if he would have dropped. You look at New Jersey; they had the second overall pick,
Young D-man,
but they've got a couple.
D-man.
Yeah, but they've got a couple of centers already. You know, with Hughes and Hershier and somebody. So Hershier.
He's actually a good guy, man. I hung out with him before. Great guy.
Hershier.
Yeah.
They had really those guys as your top two, so they don't need another center. So I didn't have a problem with them staring him down because he probably was led to believe that Montreal was going to take him. He probably met with them over and over and over again. When you grow up in Canada, like you're that good and you're exceptional status, this is probably the first time in his life like things haven't gone his way. Like really,
Andy, you're right on that.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, what?
Good.
He got humbled, dude.
Get a wake up call.
And it's a great situation. There is no way in hell Seattle thought coming into that draft that kid was going to be available to them at 4.
How about I don't mean to be a dick, but the dude that got drafted by Arizona?
What about him, the tall kid?
I don't think he was
tall. They had a couple.
The first kid.
Okay.
So Emily Kaplan interviews him, and she goes, and I saw it's kind of funny. And she's great. And she'd be better. She's better than me at everything and whatever. She'd be better than me at everything she does.
Okay.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But she goes, Hi, can I? Okay, you're a college kid. Okay. Aren't you excited about having that college atmosphere when you play for Arizona? And I'm thinking,
she said that.
Yes. And I'm thinking, oh my God, why would he want that? Mm-hmm. He just got done playing at a bigger college than what that would even be.
Can I say this, though?
I'm just saying. I thought it was funny.
I'm going to throw this out there right now.
She's better than me than everything. She's a better person than me.
She is.
She's better at interviewing than me.
Everything.
She's better at everything in life. She's better.
That was kind of like a low blow right there.
Well, she did. I think, is that on a touch? Like, why would you think that he'd be excited about playing in front of 5,000 people instead of playing for, who did he play for, Minnesota? Mm-hmm. And come on.
Okay, so.
Come on. I had to bring that up. Better than me in everything.
You're talking about Logan Cooley.
She's better than me in everything. Go ahead, yeah.
The Logan Cooley kid, who may end up being the best player. Who knows?
I don't know.
But I will say this.
Bro, do you know what I'm saying?
This season. Well, I didn't get to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm there, so I'm not really watching the ride.
Yeah. It should be fun. I can't wait to actually play in front of less people than I just did.
Hey, you know what's going to happen? That's going to be must-see television. Although they don't play any home games. Have you seen their schedule?
Andy,
they have, no Saturday night games. Because the college team has to play on Saturday night. They have 4. Start the season 20 out of 24 or something like that on the road.
It's the most embarrassing.
Okay, but let me just say it. Let me finish this.
I'm just saying.
My prediction, it's going to be must see television, dude. When those games are in Arizona, I've talked to players. They are actually excited about going in there and playing in front of 5,000 fans, where it could be loud and kind of crazy. I don't think these are road players. And I don't think this is the home team. This isn't like players from Arizona who want to play 41 days in front of 5,000 fans, and where you got the Sun Devil logo at center ice and whatever.
Andy.
But for these visiting players to come into that atmosphere for a game, a night, hang out in Tempe for the night, they're going to – it'll be must-see. People will be watching, dude. I'm telling you.
I'll watch.
Because of that.
But you're watching – you're not watching wow. Like Vegas, wow. You're watching what the fuck
it's going to be like hometown Kraft Hockeyville, it's like the Kraft Hockeyville game they have in the preseason.
I know. I can't wait to play in front of less people. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun in front of 5,000 people.
We had 7,000 when I was younger in college. Now I'm at pro. I have less people watching me. I can't wait for that.
They played in front of bigger crowds at Pee Wee, Quebec.
I know, Andy. In Nottingham, I did.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know. Nottingham.
I think it's fewer than 5,000. I don't even think it's 5,000.
It's a joke.
But it is what it is. I don't know, but I kind of agree with you. I just think the whole thing.
It's a joke.
Everyone's talking about this future new building that isn't even like confirmed.
I was gonna say, because I saw what's it called when you have the
they got like some type
the rewrite or the pre-write,
pre-drawing. They had a like a city council meeting where they approved like something.
I don't know.
But it's not like they're putting like shovels in the dirt.
They ain't doing it. It's like didn't we go through this here in St. Louis with the rendering of the riverfront new
the football
stadium, and I'm like, that's gonna be unbelievable. That's gonna be unbelievable.
Hey, doesn't everybody know that like they're moving to LA?
It's gonna be unbelievable.
I know. Everyone's like, this is going to be the best stadium in the league.
We got fucked so bad on that to where we don't even know where the money's at. It's just sitting there like $500 million. Potholes out the wazoo. Where's the money? What are you doing with it? You corrupt. What's going on? Oh, okay. No, nothing yet. Oh, that's all good.
Chicago.
So weird.
Chicago's
fucked too.
Well, listen, I get it. If you want the first overall pick for next year with Connor Bedard, but like a year ago, you thought you were like a playoff team. You're signing Seth Jones, and you're trading for Marc-Andre Fleury. Now, like Seth Jones is there with this long-term contract, and you're trading away all the good players. You're not qualifying other guys. Like who was it?
You're trading DeBrincat to try to draft a DeBrincat.
Basically, who doesn't have an extension in place, by the way, with Ottawa.
Ottawa's trying to do things, though.
I told you a couple. I always said Ottawa was my favorite team in the league. Maybe they'll be good again this year. You never know.
That was a complete reach. We love Brady and DJ Smith, but ain't that cool.
Well, they were kind of fun for a little bit.
Ain't that cool?
They got Austin Watson and some of the guys.
That ain't that cool yet. Right, come on, Andy.
But now they got DeBrincat, who could go there.
Who I said was number one out of the Forsberg.
You did.
And then I got chirped by what?
Got chirped by a number of people, actually, for that one. I didn't think it was really that warranted.
What'd they say to me?
It's a good thing that you're not a scout or something like that.
Well, I don't want to be worked like a dog. Go to Finland to watch a kid that is not going to fucking make it. I got to go travel with my vertigo. I ain't doing that.
Oh, my God.
I like to sit here with you, Andy.
Yeah, I know you do. But listen, they're not qualifying guys that, like, put up points. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. Like, should you be allowed to just, like, tank? Is that okay? Like, should you be allowed to just, like, tank?
Hockey doesn't have that as much as
they're tanking, dude.
I know they
That is the ultimate tank job.
No, I know they are. But, like, you still have a floor, a cap floor.
Yeah, they got to get to. So they're like, okay, we'll hang on to Kane and Taves.
What are they going to do with those two guys?
I don't know.
That's going to be a miserable year.
Listen, here's what it comes down to. Everyone needs to understand this. When you're Jonathan Taves and you're Patrick Kane, whatever happens, they have full control over it, in my opinion. Like, these are two legendary players. If they want the hell out of Chicago,
they'll do it.
They'll get themselves out of Chicago.
What a fall from grace.
So if they're there, it's not like they're pounding on the door of this Kyle Davidson guy, the general manager, and being like, hey, get me the hell out of here, and they don't move them. They control the situation.
Well,
so if they want out of there, then they'll get themselves out of that situation.
Isn't that weird, though? Like Chicago, like if you look back on their heyday a couple years ago, God, they had everything. Mm-hmm. They had the city. They had the style. They had the cool factor. They had everything to a point where it was like too perfect. Mm-hmm. It was too perfect for so long.
Yeah, they had the coach.
They had like you go there. They like that the place like one of the biggest markets, biggest cities, and you own it. And Canner was sick, and everything was just perfect. Mm-hmm. And then it fell apart hardcore. It's like it was too good. And everything kind of comes to an end. Like, I was like, God damn, these guys are going to keep winning and be... I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, shit goes down. Yeah. Weird shit goes down. Now they're like the laughing stock. They were up here, Andy, and now they're way down. If you look at comments and just people, how you think of Chicago, people hated Chicago earlier because they were too good, and that's a healthy thing.
But they're hiring a lot of guys that just have zero experience at the same time. Although Mike Greer... He did play over 1,000 games in the NHL. There's something to be said for that. But still, being a general manager is not all about playing in the NHL either. See, I just think if you really put smart people around you,
well, then do it.
I think you can have success.
You brought me around you. You're doing pretty good with that. And Brody.
Vice versa.
Our thing is not working out for you, sir. Get on with yourself.
It's all about who you surround yourself
I know. With. I think I set this whole threesome up, to be honest with you. I got you, and then Brody got a hold of me, and I had a meeting with him, and it all worked out.
He reached out to me, too.
And you ignored him. And Brody, let everybody know.
That's probably true.
You ignored him, and I took him to lunch. Remember Brody would sit with me before my radio show? Mm-hmm. That's what you do.
So, Anyway, but the good GMs are good for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
Okay.
Thanks, Andy. I know that.
But a lot of people are getting hired without any
Rather be a president.
Would you? I would never want to be the president.
The president?
You want to be the president?
Why? It's an easy gig.
No, dude. It's not an easy gig.
Didn't you just say you'd rather...
Oh, I thought you meant of a country. You mean a president of a team?
Yes.
Listen, Joe Sakic moving up.
What's wrong with him?
I'd rather
Why would I be a president of the United States?
I would never want to be.
You
You can have just as much power just by being wealthy. You don't even have to be the president.
I know. Why do I need to be stressed the fuck out, Joe? Because these psycho politicians can't help themselves. Don't get me started.
Like this Elon Musk or something. Like he can have more power. He can have just as much power.
Why even deal with Twitter?
Being
because he wanted to probably make it right.
Yeah.
No,
president. Oh, that's the best gig.
That's what I'm saying.
John Davison has the best job in hockey. I've always said that.
I know. And
now Joe Sakic, and you look at there's other guys that have done the same thing. You look at the Vegas structure of their management with George McPhee being the president. You look at Joe Sakic. See, Colorado's in a situation where everyone's coming after their assistant GM.
Yeah, I know.
And that's what they were doing with Kelly McCrimmon in Vegas before, too.
Right.
And so,
they should.
And Colorado's like, you know what? We're not going to lose our GM. We're just going to move Joey Sakic up to president and let this guy, and it doesn't change the overall dynamic anyway in terms of how they conduct their business in their front office. Nothing changes. Chris McFarland already had a huge say and was a huge part of their decision-making, negotiating, all that stuff.
The mojo there.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're going to be successful for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You got some smart people in play. It's going to be the Blues and the fucking Avs going toe-to-toe.
I wouldn't be surprised one day if Doug Armstrong were to move up to president. I always thought maybe that was going to be the play eventually.
And who would take his stead?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, obviously, put somebody slides in. I'm not saying I don't know when that'll happen.
Yeah.
But I just think that is, kind of the direction that you're seeing, teams go in. JD was one of the first. Listen, he came here and he still had Larry Plow working under him, and he was.
I get you.
It's a great job. I want to be the president, actually.
I love JD.
General managers have to work very hard and travel.
I get you.
Which you just would not be able to handle.
No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to travel, man. I don't want to be a scout. Cam would never be a scout. You don't think I know how to go into a building and evaluate who's good and who's not? I had to make teams my whole life, and I pretty much made every single team I did. I knew how to stick out and do things. If we go to Andy's little AAA practice and we sit there, and there's a game going on or something, I'll pick out the best players and you'll be like, yes, those are exactly right.
I can do. I always say that. It takes me 90 seconds.
Oh my God, I just know,
90
and I
seconds.
can look in your eyes and see how you are with your just personality. And I know, I evaluate people every damn day because they evaluate me every damn day, and I don't know, I can't scout. I just want to travel and get work like a dog. I'll ever sit here with you and drink beer.
So the stare down real quick though from Shane Wright.
Yeah, who cares?
Did you see it though?
Yes.
And
Brody posted it.
Do you feel like he was doing that?
I don't know, probably.
I think he was probably like, you know what, you guys.
Fuck you.
They probably promised him. They probably said, hey, you're going to be first overall pick.
It's a big deal.
And then he drops to 4. Again, Seattle. There's no way they showed up to Montreal thinking there was any chance that they were going to get this kid.
I want Seattle to be competitive, to be honest with you.
You know what's funny is when you have a top pick like that, or even if you're picking in the late 20s, like you show up to the draft with like 10 different jerseys with all different last names on there. Like there are jerseys floating around the Enterprise Center that have like Taves on the back.
Oh, wow.
That have like Stahl on the back.
I didn't know that.
I mean, there are.
I never think about it.
I mean, it's like they don't just they're not just like sewing it like as the calls being, once they decide who they're going to, they want to sew on the back.
Has there ever been a time where somebody got picked and they didn't have a jersey for him?
Probably. Although, can I just say this to the teams up there?
No, they stick it on.
Whoever's responsible. I saw at least 2 or 3 teams. The kid goes up there, they put the damn jersey on him, and the price tag is still hanging off.
Oh, wow, I didn't see
and
that.
You see somebody run up to his shoulder real quick and rip off the damn tag.
Somebody got fired for that.
Take the damn tag off. Hey, but this little...
Can I pee real quick?
This little... Not little, but this Slovak who was taken first overall, he seems cool.
He's not
though,
little.
man.
He's huge.
He's 6'4". Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a man.
He's big boy. The crowd was going crazy. I will say but Montreal being there, and I've been to a lot of drafts over the years, Cam, and they're not always packed with that much excitement. Plus, they had the first overall pick. It was kind of like a match.
And COVID and stuff like that.
All right, a couple things I want to pass along. I reported the other day that Colorado and Valerie Nichushkin are ramping up their discussions, and you can expect that to get finalized before the beginning of free agency. So that's a good, keep for Colorado. They need to find a way to keep him, which means, Nazem Kadri likely going to be a UFA. Kadri and Evander Kane. And, Montreal's, or not Montreal. I keep getting all these Canadian cities mixed up.
Can I say something about Evander Kane?
Hold on. Edmonton, they made an offer to Kane and whatever, which everyone knows that they would have. They lowballed him. Yeah. Nobody wants to make that significant of a financial commitment to Evander Kane. There's probably some risk involved just based on his history and his past. But there are several teams. If Calgary, for example, if they lose Johnny Gaudreau, which I said several weeks ago, there's a 0% chance of him re-signing in Calgary, and I'll stick with that. I'm told they offered him $9.5 million for 8 years. And obviously, he's unsigned as it sits right now, so we'll see what happens there. If they lose him, and then we'll see what happens with Matthew Tkachuk, although their general manager did tell me that they're trying to sign him. They have no interest right now in looking to trade Matthew Tkachuk. I could see Calgary turning their attention to Evander Kane, and he comes on the other side of the Battle of Alberta just because, you're losing players, and obviously you got to fill those holes, man, if you're going to lose 200-point players or at least one 100-point player. Would you sign Evander Kane?
For how much?
Just would you sign him?
Yeah,
for long-term commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
God, I follow his, ex-wife.
Why?
I don't know. I just started.
What's she all about?
Oh, Andy. Listen to me. You know how I bashed Canner?
Yeah.
I did. Because I feel like he's just, he was too, hot.
He was too much.
He's too much. You know that. I heard weird things, and you hear rumors, rumors.
Yeah.
So I'm like, his ex-wife is always very... So I followed her on Instagram, and I don't like to, but she's posting clips of him, holding their little baby, and he's being like a sweetheart to her. She's like, "You motherfucker," and I'm like, "Oh my God." He's like, "I know." And she's every time he goes over to get she films him and writes all this stuff about him, and I know he's probably horrible.
Is this current stuff?
Yes, and he.
So
felt
what are you saying? She's kind of
psycho.
Okay,
I know.
I mean, you're throwing that out there.
I'm just saying, dude. Fuck, I'll show you. And Canner's over there, the baby's the cutest thing in the world. Oh God,
no, there's
and almost how I bashed.
Not right.
I
all around there. Dude.
I bashed him, and I know I did that. But now I look at that, and I'm like, fuck, it almost made me cry.
Yeah,
I swear to God. He's just holding this little precious little girl, and she's like, yeah. And my mom and dad fought for money. We paycheck to paycheck for a long time. And when your parents fight about money, it's horrible. But I thought they were going to get divorced a couple times, big time. And my mom and dad never chirped each other when we were my mom would take me on, and she'd be like, "I love your dad." She'd never, "You fucking asshole." That would confuse the shit out of me. And my dad never did say that about my mom. But to see this, and this little girl's going to see her mom film her dad. Oh, my fucking God.
I don't know.
And I look at Canner, and I know he probably fucked up a million times. And I know his gambling, and it's fine. He act like he's cool. But now I'm like, I kind of feel goddamn
Can I
bad
just say.
I'm just saying.
Listen,
I do have a heart. I swear to God.
This is a.
This
is a lesson for all you kids out there. And anybody who's even in your 20s. Don't be going around having kids, man. With girls.
Thank you.
Or women having kids with men, whatever, that you're not committed to.
I know.
And that you're not 100% sure on. You think it's a joke and it's just a game and whatever, but you're impacting the life of somebody else too. It's not just about you and the baby's mama or the baby's dad. It's there's a kid involved too, dude.
How about this, dudes? Man, all you guys, I waited till I was 28 to marry Kate. I got all this weird shit out of my system. Doing weird things, getting addicted to things, girls, all this shit. And I'm it made me depressed after a while. And I had to sit, and then I had to go back, and Kate and I, and we have a great thing going. I can always fuck up, but I'm not going to, I just waited, and I was ready. And I'm not oh, girls, no, get me wrong. I see fucking women around. I'm I got to put my glasses on. Don't get me wrong. But I love my wife. And if I lost her, I'd be fucked. And I know it. But I waited a long time, man. I did. I got it all out of my system. Take your time. Take your fucking time with shit. Fill it out. See where you're at.
You weren't 28 when you got married.
I was 32 when I got married.
Oh, well, what's 28?
I was 2019. I got married.
Yeah, you were 34. Or something.
No, I was 28 when I started dating Kate.
Okay, well,
it took me 7 years.
You got all your dates mixed up here.
No, it took me 7 years. All her friends would be, oh my God, Cam, oh my God, when are you going to get married?
I'm saying is, dude,
you got divorced twice.
Okay, so you'd sign his ass? You'd sign him?
Yeah, I probably would. I don't know, man. I hate seeing those videos. I got to delete. I got to unfollow this chick, dude. It's too much.
Okay, a couple other things. Tarasenko, and I said this.
Carolina?
I said this. No, what the information I'm getting is that like they don't know where all this talk is coming from and whatever. So I fully expect Tarasenko to play for the Blues this year. I really do.
Okay.
And again, I've said this several times. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, you got to get something. You got to get something for him." I'm like, "Well, you've gotten a lot out of Vladimir Tarasenko. You got a lot of miles out of him so far. This isn't. He's not 24. He's not 25. This isn't Matthew Tkachuk. It's not the Calgary Flames where they haven't won a Stanley Cup in years.
There it is, Andy.
You know, the Blues have gotten a lot out of Vladimir Tarasenko. Star players enter free agency every single summer. It is what it is, and it's not the end of the world. Sometimes, hey, listen, you're trying to win. You're probably better with him on your roster this year versus him not being on the roster and versus having like a first-round pick or something like that in your pocket. Maybe you get a player in return. That's a hockey trade. That's a completely different situation. But if you're worried about getting something in return, you've gotten a lot out of Vladimir Tarasenko. And if he walks after next season,
so be it.
So be it, man.
7.5.
This guy's become one of the best, offensive goal scorers in the history of the organization, man. And you want to stay on the cup with him. So
I agree with that. Eddie. That's a good point.
David Perron, as of last night, not much has changed. People are talking about progress and all this. Things are going to have to really pick up between now and the beginning of free agency for him to have a contract in place to remain here in St. Louis. I'm not going to sit here by any means and say it's not happening, but, they've had some talks, obviously. They know David Perron, but things are going to have to really accelerate between now and Wednesday, and same thing with Nick Leddy. We're recording this on a Monday. The Blues and Leddy are expected to have a conversation again today to see where things are at and hopefully move things forward, and the Blues obviously would like to sign him too. So we'll see how that plays out. Moving forward here with Nick Leddy, if you're looking at the St. Louis Blues from that standpoint. Okay.
Good job, dude. I agree with you on that one with the Vladdy thing. Whatever. Fuck. You got a lot out of him.
And it was a good pickup from.
Can we get him on the podcast, by the way?
I talked to him about it.
Tell him.
And it was a good pickup by Detroit to get Billy Husso.
Husso, my sister.
Because, and again, that's where the trust comes in too. Like Steve Yzerman, Doug Armstrong, man, they get along. Fabry, Sundqvist, Husso,
they get the game.
They just
sometimes trades are even.
Sometimes you just find that individual and that person that you want to do deals with, man, that you trust.
Yeah, I get you.
Nobody's trying to burn
Army
one
said
another.
That when we talked to him,
he did.
Yeah.
He did.
He's like, you don't rip guys off. It's more like.
I love Steve Yzerman's answer too when he was asked that. I saw that on social media.
What?
During his post-selection interview with Emily Kaplan, she said, "Where are you in your rebuild?" And he said, "Well, this is my third year with the organization, so I guess we're in year 3."
Oh, yeah.
That was a great answer, man.
Yeah, but I didn't mind that question.
Whatever, there's nothing wrong with the question. It was a great answer.
Great answer, yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I'm not responsible for what happened and where they were at before I got here.
Yeah.
But this is my third year, so I guess it's third year.
Yep.
And you know what? They're going to be good before too long.
No, they're going to be really good. And they're going to be
They got
motors.
some really good young talent. They got to get Larkin signed. But they are good, man.
Yep, I agree with that. I like them, man.
And I like the Red Wings. I like Stevie
I wish the Blues
White,
were still playing the Red Wings all the time.
And the Blues would have loved to keep, Billy Husso, but they only have so much cap space.
I know.
And can you truly? I mean, listen, they tried to move some contracts. People talk about Krug and whatever. From what I understand, that was going on a few weeks before that. They kicked that out to some other teams. Listen, he's got a lot of years left at 6.5, coming off a knee injury. Not an easy contract to move. And I know you got Perunovic coming in and whatever. It would save a lot of money, but I like Krug too.
Yeah, he has to.
They weren't able to move whatever money out that they would need to move in order to sign Billy Husso, but I think they would have preferred to keep him. It's hard to let those guys move on. But
I get you.
Anyway, all right, Don Koharski on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast.
Oh, he was awesome. Man, I like Donnie, dude. He's always good to me on the ice. His son Jamie's always good. His brother Terry's been still grinding in the American League right now, man. They were awesome, respectful guys. He let it out though. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to come on and talk.
Oh, yeah.
And he was awesome.
He was great. And there's so much to talk about with officials.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
In terms of the way the game is officiated today, how much it's changed over the years. I mean, it's a hot button topic, man. NHL officiating,
no doubt. And he, God, he's been through a lot, man. Jeez, Louise, I don't even know where to begin with him, but you guys are gonna be certainly entertained. Certainly, we did good on that one. He was on for a long time.
The poutine I had, Cam, in Montreal was disgusting. Just absolutely terrible.
Well, why you eat bullshit? I can't believe you don't eat steak, but you'll eat the poontang bullshit.
I've got a steak thawing out in my.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna make it for Ty. I think I'm gonna put it on the Traeger.
Are you thawing it out? I mean, it was frozen. Oh, that's cool.
Dude, I get the highest graded meat, frozen and you froze it. You thaw it out.
I don't do that. I know a lot of people. When you have kids, I get that. I don't want to chirp too much, but yeah. Give it to Ty. He doesn't know the goddamn difference. Put it out, thaw it out. You're 100%.
They have vegan.
Want me to make it for you?
They have vegan poutine. So if you want to get the vegan,
you're extra nerdy.
Those cheese curds, I don't know what the hell those are.
If a girl's, she could be a dime piece, and you're trying to and she's eating poutang all night.
Are you taking her home or?
I don't know.
Are you
wait 48 hours? I think
before you what if I know.
It's like the hot dog eating contest chick that's kind of hot.
You see those parents making out after that selection. Are you doing that if they just had some poutine?
I'm probably not doing weird things with a girl. Like I like to get down with it. And if her tummy's fucked up, I don't know.
How does that? Now listen, is the cheese supposed to be melted?
Andy, I don't know.
It's like big clumps of I don't know what I'm eating there. I had a lot of international foods though. I had a Mediterranean sandwich. I had some sushi. I had a lot of things there, dude.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about your food that you eat, it's kind of boring because
no, it's really not. I had some Vietnamese soup that was incredible.
But again, you don't try everything because you have 62% of the things that people eat. I watch food stuff.
What do you want me to have? A hamburger and pepperoni pizza?
No.
I want to try the international flair.
How about have some Kobe beef? Or how about have some rack of lamb? How about have some badass barbecue? How about have all kinds of fucking
I'll have some rack of lamb when I go to Greece. That's what I'll do.
So you're going to eat lamb?
In Greece.
You could eat lamb, but no other meat?
Oh, no, I eat fish like a motherfucker. You know that.
There's no other meat that you eat.
You
eat
sure.
Lamb.
No, I'm gonna have.
You're not gonna have a steak, but you could eat lamb.
No, I'm gonna have a steak.
Lamb's more.
I'm having a steak tonight. I have my steak in.
You gave it to Ty.
I haven't made it yet.
You're back.
I haven't made it yet.
You don't eat meat, dude.
I'm gonna eat it tonight.
It's all good. I don't want to force you. I don't want to make.
How long do I keep that? How long do I keep that on the grill on each side?
How big is it?
Probably 8 ounce, 12 ounce, something like that.
12. It's a 12-ounce steak.
It's pretty big. I have to look at the wrapper. Why? Is that not a size?
It's huge.
It's huge, dude. It's a big. Well, it can be for more than one person.
Let it thaw out. You better let it thaw out for. No, wait.
I'm gonna cut it up and put it in a salad for people. I think
that's okay.
Yeah.
I would do 2 minutes each side and then do
2 minutes.
Yeah, really hot, like 575.
For 2 minutes on the Traeger.
Yeah, on a Traeger. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it on a Traeger.
Your steaks, you don't put them on the grill?
I put them on a fucking charcoal grill, fucking 600 degrees.
Yeah.
And go for 2 minutes, and then turn it a little bit, and then take it off. I'm not slow cooking that thing.
It's not. It doesn't have to be a slow cook. You can turn the temperature up 500 to 600.
Yeah, but see. Here's what you don't get. You don't get the fire cooking it, and you get that char.
You get that. You can get the char.
How? There's no
the black
fire
marks?
on it.
No, you can. I always get char.
There's no fire on it, Andy.
You don't know about the. You don't know about the Traeger.
I'm
a Traeger ambassador. I'm a Traeger ambassador. You have the pellets
over there. It gets heated up, but you want the fire flavor to get the char on.
You get flavored pellets too. You know.
You're right, dude. You'll get that fire char. You're right. You'll be fine on that Traeger.
All right, let's get the Koho, baby. That's a great hockey name, by the way.
Koho.
What was yours, Janny?
Janny, Janner, Jansen, Bam Bam, Cam. I don't know.
I like Snuggy. That's the Blues' first round pick.
Yeah.
Snuggerud.
I didn't even know how to pronounce his name on the radio.
Super Jimmy. He said super.
Everybody's like, Cam, what do you think of this guy? I'm like, I have no idea. I read about him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you
could read the same. Well, he's a good shot. Maybe his feet need to be where. And then I had to defend you when you came on my radio show. We had to talk. I'm not even going to get into the other thing we talked about.
No.
But people are like, Andy's not going to say
One
that.
guy said that.
And I go, what are you talking about? Yeah. I go, no, Andy knows this motherfucker. Trust me. I could chirp Andy
Play
about
with
food.
the U.S. program.
I
dude.
know.
He's gonna go. He went in the first round.
I pumped your tires up.
He's not a 6th round pick from Latvia.
You know how the dicks are on a text line,
I know.
but one guy said that, and I go, no. I go, Andy doesn't know shit about history. He might not know how to survive in the wilderness. Certainly wears sandals, and I could push him over right now. Doesn't know how to fight.
I could absolutely survive.
But he knows
in the
about
wilderness.
draft picks for the Blues. Like he does. Like he knows like what that kid's all about. Like he does his homework on it. I could chirp him for a billion things. Not that. Sorry. I stuck up for you.
He's got a hell of a shot. His grandfather still skates twice a week. He's 85.
Daddy played some games.
85. His dad played 265 games.
I know. I saw it. Cool.
Snuggie. Snuggerud.
It's badass.
What would you tell Isaac Howard, though, if he's listening right now? What would you tell him? Like, I mean, honestly, the kid with the white suit with the American flag, belt buckle.
I like that, boy.
I just didn't. If you want to dress loud, like, it's so funny. Like, that's loud for hockey. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, to me, it wasn't that. It was like a white suit. It wasn't even a very good suit.
Man, he's different. I liked it, dude. But
I did, too.
You got to go be a pimp, then.
You got to go do that.
Pimping ain't easy.
Now you just paved the...
But being a prostitute is way harder.
Okay. All right, let's get to Koho, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
TNT analyst.
Yes, he is.
And
group.
brings a lot of energy. We love watching TNT.
Yeah.
And we look forward to this conversation. People are really going to love it. Brought to you by Hair Club, as always. 800-279-7878, Cam.
Dang right.
Hair Club, baby. Replace, restore, regrow that hair, and never, ever feel intimidated to walk into that place.
That's the thing. Walk right in that mug and be like, look, I got to get this done.
This is what I need.
I got shit today.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to talk to motherfuckers and be like, what's up? Fix this bad boy.
And they'll do your hair. They've got all the different, like...
They'll cut your hair.
They'll do anything for you.
I like getting the hair thing because it's like...
you like it when, like, they touch your head and stuff like that.
I know.
Yeah, I
Very
know.
weird. Actually, no, it's not. Normal people do like that.
Oh, yeah. No, I love it. Absolutely. Car Shield, love them, too.
Damn right.
800-857-2481. Get that protection and get it today. Are you kidding me? Use that promo code CAM, save 10%. It's very embarrassing, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do things that make you a little bit uncomfortable. This is one of them, and it's going to, obviously save you money, so there's a good reason for you to do it. And you pick out your own mechanic. You can choose where you want to have it serviced. Cam, you never know when something's going to go down. I mean, one day you just wake up, your car doesn't start, alternator, starter, whatever the issue is, brakes, computer, and you're stuck with a bill for thousands and thousands of dollars.
And it's embarrassing too.
It's very embarrassing. You are not. You're not having any.
Well, it's happened to me before.
I know,
and I didn't.
Yeah.
It ain't
people
happening
laugh
now,
at you.
Mark.
People laugh at you because
they
of
did.
That.
They thought I was cool, and I'm like, no, he's not.
A big shout out, by the way, to Duncan Keith, who retired. By the way,
Oh yeah.
He had a great career. He was cool too.
Yeah, I like him, man.
I think he's like, I'm just
wakey
kind of like,
thing, but
I'm just like done playing. Just kind of made a lot of money.
Made a lot of money. Great guy. Good player. Spin off, you're like, what's up?
Never got tired, man. The guy could play forever.
Yeah.
Really, and big shout out to Braden Shen too, who just got married.
The Shen dog.
He just got married.
I saw a good picture of him.
Yeah, all the boys were there.
Great guy.
You can always tell how popular
a
player is by how many players show up to his wedding in the middle of the summer.
Where's his wedding at?
I think Kelowna. Or no, Banff. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
he lives in Kelowna.
Well, he's probably like, I'll fly all y'all. Let's do our
I know. So next year, I'm gonna do a Canadian trip. I want to either go to Banff or go to Halifax, because the way people pump up Halifax, and is it the name of the
I ain't going up there.
The golf course or whatever?
I would. I love it. But I just don't want to leave the country. If I
Why?
don't have,
you don't go. You don't go anywhere.
I can't. I don't like flying unless it's early night.
Drive somewhere.
Why we're gonna go down?
You need to take your wife and just have a little alone time.
Why do you tell?
You can't.
I like how you tell.
You can't just
fun.
Go.
I like how you tell.
You can't just go when somebody takes you. You have to open up your wallet and go on a little vacation with.
You don't think I open my wallet up when people take me places? Are you kidding?
Okay, but you gotta
Here's the deal.
You need that alone time, dude. So take your wife on a damn vacation. Just you two.
You're trying too hard.
Just
You're
you two.
trying to bash me on something.
No. It's time to go.
I'm not driving to South Carolina. I ain't doing that, and I'm not going to fly across the border to go to Nova. I've been up there and played hockey up there. I don't need to go there. I will go down to Table Rock and rent a boat.
Take her to Colorado. Take her anywhere. Take her.
I'm going to do that in the summer.
Take her to Florida
in the wintertime and ski.
Take her to Florida.
I don't want to go there right now. We just set up a trip with her family next summer.
Oh no! Where are you guys going?
Well, we just pimped. It's going to be an awesome place. Kate's knows. And
Where's
we'll pay extra money.
Where is it?
To go and have the suite, because we're fancy.
Cam, where are you going?
It's somewhere nice in Florida.
In Florida?
Yeah. So I'll do that, but I don't.
Take your wife on that. Just go to Chicago for a weekend.
Why are you telling me to do?
Because it's important to do that.
Andy, I know. Why do you steal my things?
Very important.
I'm the one that tells people that if you go to a hotel with your wife that you've been cooped up in your own house, like you get harny. I'm telling y'all. And now you're stealing it and turning it back on me. No, I don't know.
I'm not talking about that.
You're wasting people's time.
I'm telling you just to you got to get away. You got to get away. It's very important.
I partied hard over the weekend, and I felt like dog fuck this morning.
Car Shield again, 800-857-2481. We love our friends over there at Car Shield. Can I ask you how important it is to look good when you're on the golf course? I like to dress the part nowadays.
Especially when you suck.
Can you show it? Because even if you suck, but if you're wearing a cool-ass shirt from Waggle Golf, get your waggleon.com.
Yeah, baby.
It just makes you look like you belong at the course when you get there. Honestly, if you dress the part, it makes you. If you suck, it doesn't make you look quite as bad as you would if you just show up looking bad.
You just said that's where we're going.
Okay, it's great. We're with your wife's family. You need to go.
Well, you just asked me about it. You're yelling at me, and I'm like, I'll just show you.
Your wife.
So that's the house. It's pretty cool. It's
that's great. I'm sure all our listeners can see that right now.
Well, you don't put me in. And actually, she just texted me.
Okay.
Right when you said that, it's weird. I think she's listening right now.
Well, she might be. Yeah, that could be very scary.
Well, then you know what? She knows I'm fucked up anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, so what was I just saying? Oh yeah, you got to make sure.
You got.
How are you dressing? On the golf course, it matters, Cam.
Yeah. I know. No, I look good with that, but I'm still duffing the ball here and there.
Yeah, I know you are.
But then I'll crank one right down the pipe, oh, what's up?
And that's what makes you come back for the next round. You have one good shot, it makes you feel like you can come back.
Yeah.
Did I tell you when I was putt-putting? And I was wearing a Waggle Golf. When I was wearing Waggle Golf. I was wearing Waggle Golf when I was on the putt-putt course.
Makes you better.
I was 7 or 8 under. And there was par fives, dude. It's one of the most difficult putt-putt courses in the world.
We did talk about that last podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you know that there's a big, major golf event coming to St. Louis, and I will be emceeing the luncheon coming up very soon.
You might embarrass yourself.
Why would I do that? We'll get into that.
No, you're really good about that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but you don't know.
There's going to be a lot of golf people there. And, I'll probably wear a Waggle Golf shirt there to the press conference.
Because you the video.
Who knows, Cam? Who knows?
Well, I want you to make coin with your.
Who knows?
Whenever you get embarrassed like that, which that was all natural. I didn't have anything to do with that video or anything.
No, likewise.
It just was that's the best kind. Just I didn't know you were filming. You filmed me when I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, right.
You knew that we were filming you.
No, I didn't.
I didn't know either. My buddy was.
No, I didn't. Remember, I turned around. I had no idea.
And that's the best.
Yeah.
But then I don't know.
Okay, so the Waggle Golf, Cam, they got all different selection. Get your waggleon.com. That's the website. Will you go there today, please? And make sure when you go to the course that you represent yourself properly.
Yeah, you got to look good.
And they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Damn right.
And they've got a whole new selection. They've got a couple new items that are out right now. They've got hats. They've got quarter zips. So when I go to Nova Scotia next summer, I'll be the best dressed guy there when I go to Nova Scotia for my golf trip.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, for my golf trip.
You'll look good, dude. You'll look good.
You got to make sure you look good.
You'll look good.
Do you have one that's your favorite on there? Do you have which one do you like?
You stole my shirts.
Which one do you like the most?
You got to hook me up.
Yeah, which one do you like? But you like the way it fits, though.
Of course I like the way it fits. And I'm a weird guy.
Do you mind being loud on the golf course?
Yeah, no, that you're supposed to be loud.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, my weight is so weird; it fluctuates all the time. So to have that on there, it fits. It hides my belly
a little bit. Yeah, it can do that.
And you have to tuck your shirt on.
And they got the hats, and they got the
and
quarter
my head's
zips
deformed,
too. Yes.
And the hat fits me good.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, Waggle Golf.
Yeah, Waggle Golf. Get your Waggle on and get it today. Bellman and Bellman.com. Get out there, man. There's a couple different locations, all in Troy, Missouri. They got the Buick GMC. They got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram right across the street. Incredible customer service. They will buy any used car you have, and plus, if you have credit issues, they take everybody.
Damn right.
I mean, everybody, no matter what the credit issue is, they take everybody. Sometimes I just like to go in there when I'm in the area to stop on by, just to
check your credit out,
just to kind of make sure just to know that there are people out there who actually deliver good customer service.
They got a lot of stuff to choose from.
You feel good about yourself
right.
when you leave there.
Well, man, what up, dude?
Say hi to Danny, will you?
Danny boy, what up?
And Dale, and of course,
hey, Dale.
Kenny.
Kenny boy.
Everybody.
What up, baby?
Get out to Bellman. Get there today. Bellman Automotive, man. We love our friends over there from Bellman Automotive. Now, Zero Carb Life Pizza, Cam. How do you spell life?
L-Y-F-E.
Have you taken my advice in terms of how to make
I know how to do it from the
No, you
get-go.
got to. You don't know how to make a steak. You don't know how to make these Zero Carb Life pizzas either. You got to turn the temperature, the heat, like all the way up, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You turn it way up there.
I know.
And let it cook extra long. Dude, these things are selling like crazy right now. They've got that chicken crust. No one else is making this. It is so good for you. It's got more protein packed in these crusts than anything you've ever seen. Ever. Chicken crusts. Plus, they make two different kinds. They've got the beef crumble and they've got the buffalo style. Which one do you like more? Do you have a
I like that buffalo style,
yeah,
baby.
But the beef crumble is pretty damn good, too.
I like them both.
You get the chicken crust. You can make your pizza however you want. But again, brush some olive oil on there and then turn the heat up all the way and let it cook a little bit extra long.
Yeah, that's what I do.
For people who are looking to get this locally and say it's going to be available if it's not available already, coming up very, very soon in Schnucks. Very soon. So check that out and go get your Zero Carb Life pizza very, very soon. And again, man, I look at this pizza. Sometimes they look at it like a cheap meal. It's not a cheap meal. This is something you have as part of your workout routine. Like I put it in my duffel bag, Cam, when I walk into the gym. I just walk in with my pizza.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It is weird to do that, dude.
Well, I'll have I'll have my proteen shake, and then I'll have my pizza in there too.
It's nice to be able to eat a pizza after you work out and still get a lot of benefits from it.
Because you get like
Nutritional
70 plus grams of protein.
Yeah, protein makes you horny, just so you know.
Is that true?
Yes. Yes,
wow.
Andy.
Well, I wonder if those parents from Quebec, if they just had a Zero Carb Life pizza.
Make out sesh. Weird.
Zero Carb Life, man. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save a bunch of money, too. So don't buy it without using the promo code. And, of course, Mars Blade. Get those roller blades. You can get the holders for the ice skates as well. Austin Matthews. You know all the boys. Zetterberg, Cromwell. Everybody's endorsing Mars Blade. And we love having our friends over at Mars Blade be a part of what we do here on the Cam and Strick Podcast. All right, Don Koharski. He tells you about some T-shirts in there, too, so listen up in terms of how you can go get these T-shirts that he's selling out, too, man. Great personality, great for the game, great for us on the Cam and Strick Podcast. Enjoy. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by CarShield. You know, nothing more frustrating, Cam, than when that engine light comes on and you know right off the bat you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to repair your vehicle. Call 800-857-2481. Mention the promo code CAM. Or visit carshield.com and use the code CAM to save 10%. Yeah. That's carshield.com. A deductible may apply. Save yourself money. Sign up and get your coverage now with carshield.com. Now to the interview.
Good morning, boys. What's going on?
What up?
How are you, boys? Hey,
We're
Cam,
good.
how you doing?
I'm good, man. We're doing it. Andy and I are grinding. We're, we got the podcast, got the radio going. We're living a good life, man. We're having a good time, dude.
Good for you guys. Glad to hear it.
So where you at? Where you at, man? You hanging out on the marina? You there in Tampa Bay or what?
Tan.
No. We're in our hometown, Halifax, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Eastern Canada.
Oh yeah.
And what goes on there? What's going on there today? I mean, is everybody nice and friendly
fishing?
With blue skies, water everywhere?
It's Utah. I'm looking at the ocean now. Looking at the city of Halifax. Everybody's chilled down here. Nobody's stressed.
Man, yeah, dude, it's nice up there.
Can I ask you, because, you think about, vacationing in Canada, and, we went to Whistler a few summers ago, and people talk about Banff. Everything's out west. You think about going anywhere else in Canada, it's always, big cities, like Toronto, Montreal. Nova Scotia, can you get there? Is it hard to get there? Do people go there on vacation and just chill from the States, or no?
Vacation land of Canada, man. It's... The east coast of Canada is unbelievable. I mean, it's the best kept secret. We don't want too many people down here because you guys will all fuck it up. So
no shit.
Where's the place to go?
Halifax. Halifax a party city. There's 5 universities here in Halifax.
Oh
yeah. Great golf in Nova Scotia. Cape Breton's got 3 of the top 8 golf courses in Canada, 1 of the top 25 in North America. Prince Edward Island's pretty, where Turk Galant's from, and McLean and those guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, PEI is a really cool island to go and visit. But, yeah, no, Atlantic Canada is really nice.
Was Halifax, did they have, is that where we flew up? If I was playing for Albany, we flew up and played that with, was that Halifax, that little town with all the bars right in the street? They got the American League team there? Is that Halifax?
You probably went into St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cam doesn't know where it went.
They used to have the Voyageurs here back in the 70s, Montreal's farm team. They had the American League here for a long time, but it's a junior hockey town. They had the Halifax Mooseheads.
Yeah, in the Quebec League, yeah.
And in the Quebec League, Bobby Smith owns them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, just so you know, we just
went into St. John's, Cam.
That's what it was, St. John's. You're right. That place is badass too.
Yeah, green sleeves, all the bars on one street.
That's cool. How long do you spend up in Halifax? Are you there the whole summer? And where are you during the season? Where's home during the season?
Permanent residence is just outside Tampa, Florida. A little place called Valrico near Brandon. And then we spend the summers up here in Nova Scotia. This is where we're from, in Halifax, Dartmouth area. So we've been here 2 weeks now, and we'll be here till, we probably won't get back to Tampa till the middle of September, just before the exhibition games.
Perfect.
Hey, what's the cost? What's the cost of living up there in Halifax? I mean, is it super, super expensive like everywhere else, or no?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's but it's still not. It's not Toronto. It's not Montreal expensive. It's growing. It's booming though. I mean, a lot of corporations are moving their satellite offices into Halifax, and I'm looking at the city now across the harbor, and I can't believe the difference in the landscaping since I grew up here. It's phenomenal. It's crazy. It's really taken off. Real estate's is crazy here. I mean, you got the Atlantic Ocean. It's a city of 100,000 lakes, and it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's a little cold up in the
They've got
winter,
sharks there. They've got sharks there.
Andy.
From where I'm standing right now, I am about 8 miles from Cole Harbor, where Sid and Nathan and Joe DePenta and Marshawn is. I mean, so we not only got Stanley Cup people from Nova Scotia, we got good referees that come out of here too.
How about that?
You got all kinds of shit.
Name another one.
But now you're in Tampa.
Name another.
No, I'm trying to think of the one I'm thinking about.
Peelsy? No. Hey.
No, he's
Twitter
he's
Peelsy?
from New Brunswick. I'm talking Nova Scotia.
At Peelsy?
At Peelsy.
That's his new name,
love
at
him.
Peelsy. Hey, no, honestly though, we have sharks up there. I need to know.
Why do you need to know that,
Can I
Andy?
go in the water? Are there sharks hunting around? What's happening there on the East Coast?
Not like Peggy's Cove is a landmark. That's where that Swiss Airlines plane crashed into the water.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
Wait,
A
what?
lot of whale watching up here. Halifax explosion back in the 1800s.
Right. Yep.
Oh, you don't.
Andy, it caused a tsunami. It did.
Really?
Yes, it did. It was a huge ship, and it was carrying dynamite.
Wait, when was the?
Yes, I'm impressed with Cam. I'm impressed.
I know more about that shit than hockey.
He knows more shit. He knows everything about anything
I gotta
and
host a
nothing
3-hour
about anything. However it goes.
Yeah, you know who that is. I'm not gonna say. You got that from somebody else. Don't recycle jokes, Andy. I gotta know a bunch of random shit because I gotta host a 3-hour radio show every god dang day.
There you know. You got to know it all then.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Hey, remind me what happened with the Swiss airline, the crash? When was that?
God, I think 90s.
Really?
Yeah, early mid 90s.
Yeah,
right off Peggy's Cove, and then
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't need to dig into that, Andy. It's depressing.
Okay, so
let me ask him something about.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
you're down in Tampa though, Donnie. What are you doing? So you're golfing? Are you fishing? Are you boogie boarding? What do you got going down in Tampa?
I got 2 jobs I'm working. I've been retired 3 times.
I know. Hey.
I've been retired 3 times. I'm working 2 jobs already.
You call that work?
Does that work?
Yeah. What have I got going on? I got I consult with the National Lacrosse League, the pro indoor box lacrosse.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm their director of officiating.
Are you a
So I just
lacrosse
finished-
referee?
Yeah,
Do you have experience doing that?
Yeah, how does that work?
You might as well be. You might as well do the NBA
Yeah, or
too.
tennis.
You know.
No, I played box lacrosse as a kid. So last year, the pro league.
Okay.
I worked with them on a consulting basis as their referee in chief or director. And we had a great year. Mammoth wins the championship over Buffalo. 19,000 people in the building.
Oh, wow.
I know. They packed the house.
Wait, are they making money?
The players?
It's weekend warrior stuff. The guys are doctors, plumbers, electricians, tradespeople during the Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And then, and then they just go. So we'll have 11 guys leave the Toronto airport on a Friday. 5 could be going to Vancouver, 2 could be going to San Diego, and the other 2 could be going to Denver. And those are the teams they play for on the weekends.
Wow.
It's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
As long as
No, it's very, very popular. Very popular. And like you said, they packed the house.
Well, it's the 30. We just finished the 35th year of the league. And next year, the 15th franchise is Vegas coming in next year. And the ownership there is Gretzky, Dustin Johnson, and Steve Nash.
Wow.
So, like, these guys are...
How would you like to have that ownership in a league that you're running?
Oh, that's going to be... I'll play for that. I'd love to play for that team, be a part of it. But, like...
Jammer, you'd be really good, Cam, in lacrosse.
Donnie, I'm 240, homeboy.
Legal.
I'm 240 right now. I'm sloppy as fuck. I'm like Fat Jack looking, I'm still strong, but I talk now. That's what I do. You talked in the day too, Cam. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly.
No shit.
Trust
your
me,
ass.
You talked in the day too.
Hey, what was I gonna say though? But like, if they're doing, like, they're a doctor, and then they gotta go to practice, and then they gotta go every weekend on a tournament. Like, when are they at home?
Well,
no, they just go. Most of them go in Friday, and what they'll do, they call it a shoot around on Saturday morning, day of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do a shoot around practice in the morning. There's no practices during the week.
Okay.
They do full-time jobs. They got families. They're professional people, but they're just guys that played lacrosse at a high level, and this is just a real nice supplementary income for them.
That's nice, for sure.
Totally. Because your franchise guys will make 60, 70.
Oh, nice.
It's an 18-game schedule, 9 at home, 9 on the road.
That's still a lot, though. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's a lot. No, Andy, like, that's a lot.
And
you're getting beat up a little bit.
And you're getting 19,000 fans in there. You got to pay me a little more money than that. Like, we need more money than
Andy's always asking for
more. No,
Andy wouldn't have made that fucking team.
19,000, boys. I mean, you're going to some franchises where they're getting 5,000 or 6,000 too.
Well, you get that in the NHL also.
The big draw. The Toronto Rock, they draw. Well, the league draw. It's indoor pro sports. They're third for attendance overall, right behind the NHL or the NBA and the NHL in that order.
Oh, for arenas.
For indoor pro sports.
Yeah, for arenas.
Oh, that's
cool. They get more fans than the
Coyotes.
Coyotes.
That's a great game to watch. They play music during the play. There's usually 30-plus goals scored and close to between 95 and 100 shots per game.
So
he's really selling this.
Well, are they throwing bombs on each other? Are they?
Oh yeah. Have you seen the fights?
Listen, cross-checking and slashing is legal.
Oh, that pissed me off, actually. Oh God,
Cam, they go toe to toe.
If you get whacked on the ice now, you're
with
like,
shoes on.
Yeah, they do. They got balance.
Cam, think about fights.
Yeah.
When these guys fight, they're in running shoes on the floor. They're not in skates. They plant them. They're allowed to gear down. So off come the elbow pads, the gloves, the shoulder pads, helmets, and then they square off and go. And then, I mean, you want to see fights. It's they give you a good fight.
Yeah, and they're not hitting their heads off the ice whenever they fall too.
No, they're not.
That's nice.
They're on AstroTurf, so if they fall down, they're falling down on a piece of carpet. Yeah, but no. And then of course, I'm working as a rules analyst for TNT.
Oh, we didn't know that. We didn't know that.
I haven't seen your mug on TV every time I watch. You kidding me?
Hey, I know you're doing a great job with that. Well, we'll talk about that for sure. How'd you get into like being a ref? Like, I always wonder how you like become a ref. I know sometimes, and now you're seeing it more frequently where these guys are players and they get to a high level, but then they kind of hit a dead end, and this is a great alternative for a lot of these guys.
That's exactly it. When I was a pretty good hockey player around this area. I was going to go to university on a scholarship to one of our local Canadian universities here, St. FX University. But I just knew I wasn't going to make it. And I loved being around the rink. I loved skating. I just love the people that are in the arenas, whether it's minor hockey day or National Hockey League playoffs. It just, And I love to skate. So I just did some pickup hockey one night after a team skate, and my buddy and I, Clarkie, we said, well, this is kind of cool, and got into it that way. And then saying, well, you know what? Pretty good opportunity as an official. Greater opportunity than as a hockey player. You're not competing against a whole lot of people compared to hockey. But yeah, and then I just got into it and went to camps, exposed myself. You got to be a bit of an independent contractor, as I like to say, because no one's coming after you as they are hockey players for recruiting. You've got to put yourself out there and, be an independent contractor. And I did do that at a young age. And when I graduated from graduated from high school, I was 24, of course, but no, just kidding.
When you graduate high school, you're yeah. Well, we thought you were serious. I mean, as I said, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't place any judgment on you.
Oh.
I was out of high school, I was fortunate enough to get hired by the WHA, the World Hockey Association, back in '75.
Yeah.
Living in Toronto, and got my start in the WHA, and come home after year one and stayed here in Halifax. Worked the American Hockey League here, and the NHL hired me in '77 as a linesman.
Oh, see, that's what I was going to add. Like being the liney compared to a ref, like you're in the mix every whistle. Like
if you're a linesman,
if you're a linesman, if you're a liney, you're in there. Like, tell us about the difference between the two. And when you are a liney, are you like, I need to work my way up?
And do the referees feel like they're better than the linesmen?
Oh, good question.
Because they make more money than the linesmen, right? Like, do they look down? I mean, whatever. Answer that.
Yeah.
The big difference is the 15th and the 30th of every month. Between the two.
Oh my God! Like what were you making your first year as a ref, and what were you making like your final year? And like, what are these guys making now?
In '75, when I got hired by the WHA, 1975, I made $8,000, $1,000 a month for 8 months.
Okay.
And then in 2 years later, I got hired by the NHL as a linesman. In '77. I made $12,500 in '77.
Yeah.
And for the first 3 years of pro hockey, my wife, my middle school sweetheart, she made more money than I did. I went and got a part-time job in the summertime in the off season, working as an NHL linesman, or as an NHL official, whether it was a linesman or official. I just weren't making any money. Now the guys, if you get to work a Stanley Cup final, the guys that worked the final this year, they're roughly in the neighborhood between $450 and $500,000 with bonus money.
Yeah. For those guys, because, but
they deserve it,
even the guys that aren't getting past the first round or the second round, or even getting playoff assignments, like they're still doing all right. They're still pulling in 300, aren't they? Like 250, 300.
Oh no, they're getting six figures with a 2 in front of it.
Yeah.
Like
once you serve your first 3 years in the NHL as either a liney or a ref, and more important, what people don't even realize, their pension and how they take care of the guys and severance packages when you leave the league. It's done with more dignity now than ever. It's the association and their union done a real good job in setting their people up themselves for life after hockey financially. So yeah, they've done a good job.
Hey, how bad was it, like, being a linesman, though, in some of these games, especially back in, like, the 70s and early 80s? Like, guys were fucking nuts, Donnie. Like, and then now they're, like, everybody's, like, coming off the bench and all gathering together. Like, how'd you handle that? Like, I watch these fucking brawls, and I'm like, these linies are right in the middle of it. The refs are in the middle of it, too, and it's so chaotic compared to now. Like, how'd you handle that? Were you like, what am I doing with myself?
Yeah, I miss those days.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's when hockey was hockey. I miss those days. I mean, we went into Philadelphia as officials. We were, what the fuck are we getting ourselves into tonight?
Oh, God.
I mean, how great was that? I mean, I was just so fortunate to be part of the hockey world in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, mid-90s.
Yep.
I mean, I'd argue probably the best era for hockey ever. You look at the players, you look at the style of the game. I mean, fuck, they were going crazy. I mean, it was just fun. If you come out of Philadelphia and you didn't have a bench empty and brawl, if the Rangers were in there or Bruins were in there, you feel like you failed as a referee, as an official. Like, what did I do wrong tonight? They didn't even fucking fight. They only had 4 or 5 fights. What did I do wrong? Yeah, no, those are the days.
Yeah, because
now the old Spectrum, all the old buildings.
Well, now, like if there's drama leading up to a game, like they'll have like the head of officiating show up, and like he'll be in the building trying to be peacemaker, make sure it doesn't get out of control. They want to keep it from getting out of control. So you're saying like back in the day, like they almost encouraged it, like they wanted like to have this type because they knew that's what brought the fans in, right?
Well, it was a different culture. It's not that they encouraged it or they endorsed it. It's just that's what it was, and there was just no vision to changing it back in the day, and that's what sold tickets. And back in the day, a lot of TVs weren't being turned on for our sport.
Yeah,
and then they started seeing viewership up, and when we got TV contracts on cable and all that, people were watching it. So at the time, it wasn't broke, and that was turning TVs on. Then nobody gave a shit. Just keep it going.
Yeah, but they did. I remember the Probert Domi second fight. Remember the league called Domi and Probes and said, "Hey, we'll suspend you if you fight." And they still did, and they didn't suspend him, but they threatened him, and that was 91.
Yeah, I was going to say that's getting into the 90s.
Yeah, okay.
That's when the change started. The 90s came along. The culture of our game started changing through the 90s. And by the end of the 90s, in 98, 99, that's when we started to call hooks and holdings and interferences and holdups and allow the speed of the game and the skill of the player to be more to the forefront than the grinding, clutching, grabbing style of hockey that we were used to.
That was 2004. Wasn't that after the lockout?
Yeah, but it was leading up to that.
And that was the best thing that happened.
But it was leading up to that, all the trial. Yeah. All the exhibition games were trying to lead, and then coming out of the lockout, they said, "Bang! This is a perfect time to do it. Change the culture overnight, over in a 1 year," and they did it. They did a good job doing it.
Hey, who was the biggest pain in the ass you had to deal with as a head coach? Like who you just hated going toe to toe with? You knew by the end of the night this guy was going to be so under your skin and on your nerves, like you just had a serious dislike for this guy.
Well, see, that's where I think I was a different breed. I think that's why I lasted 32 fucking years. I loved the coaches that were a pain in the ass for a lot of the guys I worked with, a lot of my peers.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
I embraced those guys. I embraced that challenge. That, you know what, there's rules, there's things, there's shit I can do to control those guys, and that was the position I took. I just took that as a challenge. Guys like Bergeron back in the day, Le Petit Tigre, the Quebec Nordique coach, he was tough. We had a lot of tough coaches. People don't like it, but Shoney was a good friend of mine. Shoney wasn't that tough of a coach. He had a moment one night with me, but that was 35 years ago. So. But I embraced those kinds of coaches. And on the flip side of the coin, I'd work with young guys and all that. And guys like Al Arbor and Scotty Bowman. Pat Burns was one of my favorite coaches. God rest his soul. Guys like that, I would say to the kids, I said, those guys want to talk to you. Scotty Bowman or Al Arbor. I mean, those guys, Pat Burns. And Pat Quinn's another guy, was a tough guy, tough guy. He was viciously tough, but you know what? He didn't intimidate me. I didn't allow him to bully me. So we had a relationship. But I would tell young guys, if those guys want to talk to you over at the bench, you might want to go over because you'll probably learn something about the fucking game of hockey if you go over and talk to those guys.
Wow.
Damn right.
Like Al Arbor wants to talk to me, Scotty Bowman. Yeah, fuck, I'll be right back. I'm gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Scotty, what do you want?
Damn right.
But now you see, I feel like the interaction between officials, not all of them, and the head coach is just like, it's different. I mean, we saw John Cooper get kicked out of a game earlier this year.
Really weird.
In the playoffs, and he was like, I don't know and listen, I feel like maybe whatever, we don't have to talk about the actual incident, but he even said that he didn't feel like what he said was anything different than what he normally says. But like, you feel like the younger referees, they don't get that part of it, just in terms of letting these guys vent and maybe trying to like soak up some knowledge at the same time?
See, and I think the opposite. I think they allow those guys too much to vent, because the verbal abuse off the bench is way more blatant in today's game than it ever has been.
Well,
Really?
It's quieter. It's done it all. Yeah. I mean, when Coop got kicked out, it was by Wes McCauley. I mean, our face of the game for referees.
right.
And who knows? It's just maybe Wes had enough of maybe a 5-game accumulation. And I'm not so sure if Coop didn't want to get kicked out that night at home.
Okay.
All right.
So it's a touchy-feely thing. And then if you ask Wes about it, Wes said, you know what, Cole? I'm pretty sure I did him a favor, because I think he wanted to show his fans and at home that he wanted to get kicked out.
Just like
Because coaches do that sometimes. You look at a game, you're losing. There's no chance of winning this game, so they'll do. So it's a whole melody of things. There's so many moving parts, but I think the guys get away with more abuse of the officials now, just because of the lack of experience of the guys on the ice.
I gotcha.
What-
Yeah, they need to make it more like baseball and
Yeah, I
basketball, where they're just, tossing coaches
baseball
out.
especially, you could tell
The
sometimes.
fans would love it.
I know. I
You
like
know?
when the baseball, the strike zone's not there. We just
Yeah.
happened the other day in the Yankees and fucking Boston playing. Yeah, I do watch baseball, by the way, Andy. I have to fucking have to talk about it all the time. But yeah, no. But what is it? But what do you break like a scenario down? Like, what would you say to a guy that's? I mean, there's a couple calls, maybe you missed something, this, that, and the other,
And he's crossing the line
He's
with
crossing the line with you, and he's like, "You mother!" Like, how do you settle that down? And like, how can if one of these young kids are listening to the podcast, because who knows, they probably are. Like, what do you like? What'd you do differently that they're not doing?
to settle
settle
things
this
down.
out.
There's a fine line of being emotion. You got to win. It's emotional. You're saying things that are just trying to get people going aloud. That's the emotional side. So as an official, you have to understand that side. But then there's the fine line across that line, becoming personal.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's personal, you're a fucking prick, or you're a CS, good rotten bastard, or whatever, and it gets really, then you know what? They have an avenue. Give them a bench minor penalty. I like to see more bench minor penalties assessed in our game today in hockey than what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys have the right to do that. Nobody's holding them back. So you only take as much as you want to take. And you know what? I always say, you don't want to be liked in our industry. You want to be respected.
Yeah.
And a 2-minute minor penalty can go a long way for the rest of your career and getting that coach under control. That's what I did my day. And so did Bill McCurry's and Paul Dvorsky's of the world. I mean, we picked our spots. We give them warning. Say, listen, I'm not fucking around here. I'm going to give you a bench minor and embarrass you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
put
then
your
if
team
they
down.
call you out on it, you fucking give it to them.
Yeah.
And then they go away. They leave you alone the rest of your life.
Let me ask you about okay, so say you're reffing, and say you got a guy like Craig Berube, like who you've ref when he was playing. He was a fucking shit.
Chiefs.
Oh God, is he awesome? Shit
I
kegger.
love Chiefs.
Everybody loved him, respected him, scared of him, all that combined. And now he's a coach, and he gives you some fucking shit. Mm-hmm. Do you look at him differently than some kid that came up that maybe didn't play, and now he's a little acting like a badass? I don't know.
In our day, we all personally would have. Like, those are the names: the Al Arbors and the Bowmans, the Burns, the Pat Quinns, those guys that earned their stripes and they're where they're at. And a younger coach, absolutely. I think our senior people, or the senior people in the NHL officials, they get that still. They understand, the senior coaches in our league, like the Rick Bonuses, and they get a little more leadway than most of them do. But all you have to do is tell those guys once, hey, that's it, Rick, or Bones, whoever the senior coach may be, Maurice, whoever they are. And they understand that. It's just the young coaches that have to get tuned in my opinion. And I don't think the guys tune them in enough. I'm out of that industry now, so I just don't think they tune them in enough. They can take care of their own business in-house in any given game and pick a night when they're losing 7-1, which is what maybe happened to Coop. Maybe something built up 3 or 4 games before that. where a referee gave him too much rope and might have got his PP whacked from his management team in the NHL. And then he'll say to himself, no, there'll be a time. There'll be a time out there when it's good. And maybe that night with Wes and Coop, that was the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, Coop, that's fine. You can go now.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. See you later.
To me, it's not. It shouldn't be that. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, especially.
And that's maybe why it looked so weird at the time.
Yeah.
It could have been something from 5 or 6 games during the season, where you might have said, there'll be a time, Coop, and I'm going to get you at home.
Yep.
I'm going to get you at home.
I want to see more coaches do that. I want to see more coaches do this. Like, just keep pushing the buttons until they get tossed. Let's see more coaches get tossed.
If I was a consultant, if I was an officiating consultant to a hockey team, and Rick Tockett and I talk about this all the time at TNT, if I was a consultant to a hockey team, and I think these hockey teams should look at some senior officials that have been through the fucking, the ringer in the 80s and the 90s, and hire those guys as consultants.
To do what?
Tell them what buttons they can push. Work with your video guy. Tell the centerman what linesman drops the puck how, and how you can cheat on him to get that possession of the puck on face-offs. How you can, when you get in there, when he's putting the puck in. Here's a little shitty thing on icings. No line changes, right? So we want to get them while they're tired. Every time there's an icing, have your guy shoot the puck down to the linesman that's taking the face-off. And he's got 5 seconds to blow his whistle, and we get the puck in. Think about that.
Oh yeah, no, I am.
I love the stats that you get, because we get them all the time. Like where you see which officials lead the league in tripping calls, elbowing calls. I mean, like, do you feel like a team can adjust based on who's officiating the game in terms of how they play and what they can get away with?
Oh, a lot of teams are doing that now. But back in the day when you're facing guys that were in the league 15 years, you had a better book on them. You had a better book on them. Now you got brand new guys that are hockey players turning into referees or linesmen. It's all brand shiny new. But for a senior referee, it's still the same fundamentals. You're still in tune with what's going on in their direction. I think a part-time consultant would really help a team out. Even if you get 4 points out of a season, could be the differentiator at the end of the season and making the playoffs.
Yeah. Do you hate the ticky-tack calls? I mean, when a guy just gets tapped on the glove or maybe on the hip or whatever, and the arm goes up and it really didn't impact the play, but you're stopping the game and you're putting a team down for something like that. Do those calls bother you? Like, would you have a hard time officiating, making those calls, back in the day?
Well, there has to be impact. You have to have impact. It has to make a difference. The hard thing on the ticky-tack things, and I'll defend the guys on this one in real time in a nano of a second, lots of moving parts. As soon as they stay a stick on the hands, they're going to call it. I mean, the younger guys, the inexperienced guys, and that's what you got to understand now, guys, is that we got a lot of inexperience. There's a lot of inexperience. I keep saying we. I'm not we anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be, but not anymore. I mean, there's just so many guys that don't have that experience. Sure, they're hockey players, and you know what hurts when you get slashed. Like Cam knows what hurts when you get slashed on the hands, or what cripples you and takes you off the puck. But these guys now, they have to have that officiating mindset, and they just don't have the experience. And you can say you don't blame them, but they just don't have that experience. So they're almost learning it on the job, and that's where it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Yes, I get frustrated, but I also understand this guy was a hockey player 2 years ago with no officiating experience. So I understand why he's making those calls. He's trying to find his way around. He's getting mentored or a player coach as he's going along. So, I mean, that's just the culture we're facing now, and that's just what, the NHL thinks, in their opinion, the best thing to do.
Okay, but
get more hockey players involved. But
yeah, well, Koho, this. I mean, and I'm telling you, like, being here in St. Louis, it's not a traditional hockey market, but it's been around for a long time. People love their hockey, but the perception in the sports world is that the NHL officiating is the worst in professional sports. It's terrible. that's the way people look at it who aren't hardcore fans, who don't really follow the game all the time. Maybe they don't start following the game until the playoffs, where maybe you see some you see some controversy, some controversial calls that impact a series and whatnot. How do you look at it? Does the NHL officiating get a bad rap? Do you think it's bad? I mean, you're talking about all the inexperience and some of the guys learning on the job at the NHL level. Doesn't sound acceptable, but I guess it's the nature of the business and where we're at right now.
And I think at the end of the day, you say it's the nature of the business, and that's where we're at. That's where we're going. Do I agree with that? No. I'm an old school guy. I'm an old school guy that there's a saying, as you're serving your apprenticeship in amateur hockey, you put so many miles on cars and driving over nights to get to other assignments. You do 300 or 400 amateur games a year. You do 200 minor league games a year. You've worked at it. You served it. You've thrown coaches out. You've been through bench clearing brawls at all levels. You've had a relationship. You know how to talk to benches. You know how to talk to Craig Berubes of the world. And Rick Bonuses of the world. You did all that growing up with those guys. So when you get to the Apple and you get your chance, you've got that experience. You've got it. You know how to handle that stuff.
Yeah.
But in today's game, in my humble opinion, recruiting hockey players and trying to make them officials overnight, or take 1 year and take them right off the ice as a player, put them in the East Coast League or the American Hockey League, and then even 2 years down the road to put them in the National Hockey League, I don't think it's a remedy for success.
Yeah, I get that.
I really don't.
I wouldn't know what to do.
You're going to get the odd one. You're going to get one that gets it.
Yeah, but
believe me, you're going to get one that has that personality that gets it. And it's I hate to say it, but the transition from player to referee is a lot more difficult. They're both difficult compared to player to a linesman. They're both very difficult, but the one is controlling the game. He's got to know what a ticky-tack slash is, what it isn't. He's got judgment. He's got all kinds of things that he's got to learn overnight, basically. So is it a recipe for success? I'm not sure.
So
I don't know. They've been doing it now for 4 or 5, 6 years.
Right.
And those 4 or 5, 6 years, our senior people like Wes McCauley's and Sutherland's, they're in their 50s now.
Damn.
And there's 7 or 8 guys. Think about this. There's 7 or 8 guys in the next 3 to 5 years that are leaving the industry. My concern is who's stepping up to take their positions, to move into those roles of leaders and mentors and on ice mentors. That's my whole concern, looking at the big picture down the road.
Okay, so to answer the question though, the perception is NHL officiating is terrible. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's bad?
It's been better, and I'll tell you why. I mean, it's baseball. They've got it so structured where your strike zones. I don't watch baseball. Who watches baseball?
It's slow, Donnie. God. I have to.
You don't watch. You read about it.
I know, because you got to make a living.
I know.
I'd rather go sit here on the ocean that's 5 houses from me and watch 2 guys fucking fish off the jetty.
I
know. Seriously.
I know.
Kids aren't watching
or watch
anymore.
This grass grow that I'm walking on. That's more exciting than baseball. But
painful.
They got it structured where they're looking at boxes. They can go to replays. So it's almost not done by humans anymore. They're getting to the point where they're taking the human out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, they're just allowed to do whatever they want. They're not allowed to call fouls. I mean, the traveling rule, and that's another sport I don't watch.
I ain't into that either, Donnie. I ain't playing.
No, you can take 6 steps now if you're Steph Curry and still score a basket. There's no traveling anymore. They let all the physicality go, which is good for the sport. The inmates are running the asylum, I think, in that sport.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, they are. They run everything.
So to get back to you about hockey, hockey's at least making an effort to call penalties and make it a better game in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look back at the days, if you like the 80s and the 90s, clutching, grabbing, the fighting, the holding, and all that stuff, compared to today where it's pass, shoot, speed. I mean, if you try to ice the puck and you hit the net, that's even a shot on net now. I mean, it's not even, it used to be if you had a scoring chance, but an icing puck from end to end and it hits the goal, that's a shot on net because they want those stats up. They want people seeing we're having more shots, we're having more scoring chances.
Yeah.
So if you like today's game, it's harder on officials to referee today's game than it is, I think, the old day where we were allowed to let them go and pick 4 penalties for each team. And everybody had the same amount of power plays at the end of the night. Everybody was fucking happy.
Okay.
And nobody bitched or complained.
You think the hooking and clutching is better than post 2004?
Well, I mean, our game is really good now. It's a two-parter. I mean, our game is really good. People will say maybe it was broke in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. All right. And we didn't have television. If you look at, there's so many variables. If you look at the way the game is today and our viewing audiences and where the game is today on the map, then financially, statistically, you got to say today's game is better.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
you got 5'7" guys. I mean, teams have changed their draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're getting 5'7" guys, 5'8" now. Cam, you'd be an all-star in today's game.
I'm 5'11" and 3/4.
An all-star. Are we still talking lacrosse?
Yeah. No, hey, no, but the hooking, I like I like the combination of right after the 04 lockout though, because the game was really fast.
Right after they were calling everything.
Okay, but once it got,
because it was a slow burn in.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
For 2 or 3
I know.
years.
I was a part of that calling everything, and I was sitting on the bench waiting to get. Okay, so but the point is, once I got settled though.
Mm-hmm.
There were still big hits. There were still heavies going toe to toe, and you're able to get on the forecheck 100 miles an hour and crush guys. There's like more hits because no one's hooking you and clutching you. It was way faster.
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah,
Help me out.
Yeah, because nobody could slow you down.
No one can slow you down, man. It's great.
Can I ask you this? You ever have a player follow you out of the rink?
Ooh.
Who just wanted to confront you? Like I need some stories out of you.
I might have done that to Jamie. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, I've never had that happen. It's a different. I mean, never had it happen. I've had several shit in the ice that's happened. That's Peter. Here's a story for you. In St. Louis one night. I remember back in the day, Detroit St. Louis used to be a real big rivalry.
Oh yeah,
man.
And this was a Saturday night in St. Louis. Klima Peter's playing for Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that year that he had 3 DUIs, speeding tickets, license suspended, license taken away from him. Like he just had a bullshit 2 weeks of his life.
Okay.
So he comes into St. Louis to play on a Saturday night. I have the game, and it was a good rivalry back in the day. We've lost our little rivalry.
Oh yeah.
So you're in for a night. But all you're reading about in St. Louis Post-Dispatch all day in St. Louis is Klima's debacles in his personal life. Drinking, driving under influence, driving no license, whatever. He should have been in jail. And we always thought as officials, we had players out there that we weren't sure of socially because there was no social media, nothing. And you always had to say, oh, this is the guy that could snap on you one night and just give you a fucking two-hander across the head as an official and a player thing. We just didn't know. Like I said, no social media, no devices. So this one night I'm reading all this shit about Peter and games going on, and every time he touched the puck, they're yelling, have a drink, or who's driving, or whatever. So we have an icing play, and Detroit ices the puck. So I take my position down at the goal net where I'm supposed to on an icing. Line change, Klima comes on the ice from the far bench, second period, and he's skating at me 100 miles an hour. Like he's coming right at me. No reason. The face-off's opposite from where I'm standing. I go, holy fuck, is this one of these holy shit moments? Just a segue into the next part.
Oh, yeah, you know all about those.
I go, holy fuck, is this what we talk about as officials, that one of these guys are going to snap on us? Has his 2 weeks just got too much on him? Is it like stressed him out? He's done. This is going to be his last hurrah, and I'm going to be the brunt of it. So he comes down there, stops right in front of me, and sprays me full of snow.
Ooh.
And I go, Peter, what the fuck you doing? He looked me straight in the face, did pan. He says, what's the speed limit out here tonight, Koho?
So
yeah, and all we did read all day long about him speeding and drinking and driving.
Oh,
and he had
my
7
God.
speeding tickets. He stopped right in front of me. I was full of snow. I said, Peter, you prick,
And that's like a gutless thing to do to
What's the
somebody.
speed limit out here tonight?
you know,
I thought it was awesome.
He was number.
I thought it was awesome.
He was number 85. He had the hair coming out of the helmet,
Goofy helmet.
and he tucked his jersey in like Gretzky. Man, I loved his style when I
And
was
he
a
scored a
kid.
big time goal, didn't he?
I love Peter.
Yeah,
He scored a
I
big time
loved
goal.
Peter.
that's funny.
Hey, let me ask you
He was
something.
a good guy to get along with out there.
What about, I always got to ask Donnie, the fans always want to know about the big boy, 24, Bobby Probert. Like, how was he to deal with when he looked at you sometimes where you're like, oh, God, he stares through you. He's got those shark eyes. Like, how was he dealing with him, you know, when he had all those huge rivalries and him going crazy and all that shit?
Proby didn't turn down anybody.
Man.
People ask me the toughest, meanest looking guy. It's not Messier. It's not Dave Brown. It's not Val James. It's none of those guys. It was Bob Probert. That man demanded respect out there. And he gave me the old fuck. You guys are wrestling fans. The Undertaker. You know, the old Undertaker
Oh, yeah.
on wrestling. That's what he looked like when his eyes get going and his eyebrows come down a little bit and he looked up at you.
Like a shark.
You're going to get the shit kicked out of you here real soon. Real soon. This man's coming after you. Yeah, but Proby demanded a lot of respect. You know, like I say, God rest his soul too. But man, there was nobody bigger in our game with toughness and presence than Bob Probert.
Well, you always have to like
And he
keep
was
an eye
fun.
on him,
No.
like keep an eye on, like what's he
listen,
fucking
Ken, when
doing?
you were out there, we kept eyes on you.
Like, I was good after the whistle, though. You tell me to stop, I'm done. But I'll hit it.
No, you were done.
I was done. I was respectful in that. But like, I'm watching these fucking clips of him and some of these guys, even like Dave Brown, where you're like, what's he doing over there? Is he grabbing somebody and literally like you had to have a head on a swivel so much with some of these guys because they'll just lose it.
Yeah, like people say, I never call those guys dum-dums or fighters. I always respected the players. You know what? I understand what they did for a living, how difficult it was to get there. And I always respected them. And I always call guys like yourself, Cam, Proby, Wendell Clark, not so much Wendell, but he was a tough guy, but energy guys. You know, energy guys, that's their job. They'll score 25 goals for you. Cam Neely back in the day, energy guy, power forward. Never called them fighters or tough guys. I always like to call him the energy guy. So, yeah, when the energy guy, I'd be on the ice and I'd say, hey, boys, to the linesman or whoever, I go, hey, energy guys are out here. So your antennas go up. You don't look for anything, but you don't want to miss anything either.
I always tell these kids, too, by the way, like I always say as an ADLC, like always don't bitch at the ref. Like if you're a kid, like if my kid was bitching at the refs at a young age, I'm fucking. My dad I never did that. I always got, especially Jamie, always gave me that extra. If I caught a guy weird, Donnie, Jamie would give me the warning because I earned it because I was always good to him and I never complained or any of that shit. And I tell these parents to make sure their kids know that too. But I don't know if it's getting through to them.
Don't bitch. Well, like,
don't bitch at the fucking refs.
Kids should never be yelling at the refs
Never.
anyway. So,
what do you say about that?
No, I agree. When I coached there in St. Louis for 3 or 4 years, my goal in our team was that you're not to talk to the referees. I talk to the referees. And you know what? People used to get mad at our team because power plays were 7-2 in our favor. And we won a lot of hockey games. But at amateur level, for you amateurs that are listening out there, be kind to the referees, coaches, parents. Be nice to them. They're not, you're going to get fucked and you're going to kill penalties. That's just the nature of the game at the amateur level. And somewhat at the National Hockey League level. You're going to get under somebody's skin. They're going to get even or they're going to get a hit, especially an amateur. So sit on your hands, shut your cake holes, and enjoy your kid who's not going to make the National Hockey League have fun.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Listen.
Simple way to look at it. If he's not going to make it as a player, tell him to come to the dark side and become a referee. Then you can fucking yell at whoever you want and get away with it.
And then you'll be in the NHL in 2 years too. So
right.
hey, I want to get into some other stuff too. But like, it's kind of a generic question, but I want to know, like, as a referee, like, who did you get most excited about to officiate? Like, is the easy answer Gretzky? Like, who's the greatest player you've ever been on the ice with where you were like, oh my God, this guy just does things.
Yep.
I mean, again, the easy answer can be Gretzky, but I'm sure there's got to be a couple other guys that come into mind.
Well, the answer is the GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my answer.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a lot of people's answer.
Of course.
And I work with him at TNT now, but I didn't say him. He's probably sitting in his house in Ladue fucking listening to us right now. No, I know where he's at. I can't say, but I know where he's at.
He's in Idaho.
Yeah, you can say it. I can't.
Fancy player. I know what he's doing. I know. We don't get the invite up there.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. I mean, but there's still the Lemieux and the Joey Sakic's and oh my God, back in the day, Ray Bourques, Mark Messier's. There's so many great players in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, that whole, but 8 of them on the Islanders team. If you like the way the Islanders played then, that grinding hockey, there's 6 or 8 guys that played in the Islanders. I mean, I hate to say it, but Bobby Clark was probably the guy that got under my skin the most.
Really?
But I had so much respect for him as a player because I know how he played the game. He played it honest, and you knew what you're going to get with them. You knew what you're going to get with them. I mean, I had the pleasure of working Bobby Orr's last game with him on the ice as a Chicago Blackhawk, as a linesman in Ottawa in an exhibition game. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, I always have philosophy. There's the GOAT, which is above superstardom, and then there's superstars.
Yeah.
I get
you. You know, Tom Brady's a GOAT. Tiger Woods is a GOAT, in my opinion. Michael Jordan's a GOAT in his sport. And the rest of them are all superstars of their sports, which is not a bad handle to have.
No.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask
but
you.
There's got to be a GOAT.
Let me ask you this, Donnie. Who is a fake guy? Like, who is a motherfucker that's like acts like he's tough, but who is fake on the ice? You know. I'm just,
how many hours we have?
I'm just saying. You know what I mean by that.
Don't say Chaser.
That was Andy, by the way. Chassé, listen.
No. Nothing fake about Chase.
I know. Of course
he's gonna
not.
fuck Andy up.
Chase took on everybody, and Chase and I, you know what? We didn't see eye to eye in our careers.
Yeah.
You know, and I was a 10-year resident in St. Louis, and but Chaser didn't see eye to eye with many of the guys. But over the years, Chaser, you know, knowing Peelzy, or at Peelzy, I should say, at Peelzy.
At Peelzy.
At Peelzy Twitter.
Yeah, at Peelzy Twitter.
That's
whatever
his new
that
name.
is.
That's his new name.
That stuff.
You done that? Yeah, we know. That's funny.
But I think you know, Chaser come around a whole bunch, learned the game a little bit, and I think a little of you know, Brett Hall's style and his class and how he treats people on and off the ice over the years rubbed off on Chaser a little bit, and Chaser got to understand the game of officiating before, where he maybe didn't realize that we gave 2 fucks about the game, but we really, really do. I mean, there's many sleepless nights as officials that you just don't sleep because you know you fucked up and it's bothering you. And it's not a nice day the next day when you're getting videos and getting your pee whacked for something you did the night before. So it's not show up and go home and have a few beers and a pizza and feel good about yourself. There's some of those nights, but there's other nights where you had real shitty nighs. Yeah. And they lay with you. You can't hide behind 17 other guys. It's you.
So who?
I was joking when I said Chaser. Yeah. So who's
the guy
who's
though,
fake?
where you're like, no.
My guy was Kenny Linsman.
Oh, okay.
He was appropriately named the Rat for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He was hardcore.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that would stand in there and on a whistle and start fucking whacking guys and punching them, rabbit punching them, and causing a shit show down around the nets. And then he'd be over standing at his bench, fucking watching it. Watching it.
Yep, that's what I was.
So one night he did that. One night he did that to me in Boston, and I took one of my energy guys from the scrum, and I went over to the Boston bench with my energy guy, opposing player, And I grabbed Lindson by the shoulder, and I brought him in and said, okay, let's say it was Marty McSorley. Marty, you have every right now, my permission to kick the shit out of him right now. Go. Oh. And then I'd back off.
Oh. That's a
Marty looked at me and go, what? I said, yeah. No, kick the shit out of him right now. I said, because you see the shit show down there? It's all because of this little fucking rat right here.
Oh.
And then he tried to get on the bench and get off the ice. I grabbed by the ass of the pants and pull him back down on the ice. Oh. So, Marty, go ahead. I'm not going to kick you out. You're going to get a major for fighting, but he's going to get a 5-10 in a game for inciting you to beat him up. And it never happened, but so yeah, Kenny's the guy that sticks out of me.
Wow.
I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
he's probably a great guy, Donnie. He's probably a great guy, Donnie, but he knows what the fuck he was doing out there. It's all good. It's all good.
But I don't know him socially. I can just tell you the havoc he used to cause all of us, and that was his job, and I respected that. But stay in and take a punch.
Yeah. Do your thing.
Please stay in the scrum. Don't play a hide and go fuck yourself after you cause the shit show.
And somebody else going to have to clean up your bullshit.
What's that game called? Hide and go fuck yourself?
Yeah, I'm stealing that from you.
It's a game that the players played a lot in the 80s.
Hey, I want to talk about this TNT thing. First off, okay, so who called you? Like, did you find out from the league they were looking to hire somebody? Like first, how'd you get the job?
Well, I was, for a couple of years, I was on this gig about that consulting thing I talked to you about earlier. And I was on the gig one time with TSN. After I retired, I went and did Off the Record with, I can't remember.
Landsberg?
Michael Landsberg.
Yeah. Michael.
No, not Michael Land. No, it was, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. OTR in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the year, my first year off the ice. So after I was done the show, TSN's headquarters were there. They called me over to have just a idle chit chat with me. And at the time, so that was like 12, 13 years ago, I had sort of put rumors out there. I think, we should have referees, like we had coaches' corners. Why not have a referee's corner and take a 3-minute block and explain a rule or explain something to the fans? If they've seen something in game, we can pull up the tape and talk about it. 3 minutes of your life, TSN or ESPN or whoever, TNT. Not TNT because they weren't around then, but so I was just something I was throwing out there while I was still in the NHL as a manager. So TNT or TSN called me in, and the way they explained it to me real quick was that, well, if you can come on and shit on all the referees and crap on them, on all the bullshit calls they're making, we could look at hiring you for that job. I said, no. What I would like to do is go in there and educate the viewing fans. I mean, we're at a stage in our game now. We've come so far from the catch and grab days. The game's faster now. There's skilled players. We're getting more shots. We're scoring more goals. There's more offense. I can explain the game to the viewers so they have a better understanding why things are done the way they're done on the ice or why they miss them. I can be negative, but in a nice way, to be honest with them. They said, no, we want guys that are going to come in and carve and not worry about protecting the guys that they worked with for all those years. I said, well, right now I'm not ready to do that because I went to battle with them for a bunch of years and I'm just off the ice. Yeah, man. So I like those relationships I have. So 2 days later, or a week later, they hired Kerry Fraser. Perfect fit for that job.
Well, why is he a perfect fit?
Because he'd have no issues doing it. And he didn't.
Because he was okay being the guy to come in and shit on the other referees.
Yeah, wouldn't bother him at all.
Is he liked by the referee fraternity?
I can just talk about myself personally. I don't have a whole lot of respect for the man. I'm sure he doesn't for me. But with going into great detail, that's just my personal opinion.
Could you imagine, did you ever have to work in the 2-referee system? Like having to work with another referee who you didn't get along with? Like, that can't be easy either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not easy. It's happened. It's not easy. I mean, but you know what? The ones that don't want to make it easy, they don't make it easy. The other guys will just, make it work.
Okay.
But anyway, so back to TNT.
Yeah.
I heard a late rumor, and I was talking to Eddie Olchuk for a couple of years. When I found out that Eddie was going to TNT, and then Gretz and the boys and Talk had signed, that's when I reached out to Eddie Olchuk. I said, Eddie, here's something like we've been talking about for the last couple of years. Do you have a contact? Do you have an in with Turner Media and TNT? And Eddie said, where are you? I said, I'm in Buffalo. My wife and I are flying back to Tampa. I said, we're connecting. He said, well, give me a chance. He says, expect a phone call. So TNT called on my connecting flight. Said that they researched my name. Michelle Zakira, she used to be with the Atlanta
Thrashers.
The Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah.
Waddell. So she's been around the game for decades. And then she was under the understanding that I was still an officiating manager coming out of the COVID, which I wasn't. I wasn't going back. So on that note, she asked if I could get on a Zoom call and do a meet and greet on Monday morning. This was a Saturday afternoon. And then I did that. And then Tuesday morning, they called me back and hired me.
Wow.
Yeah. So
one of those good Zooms.
That easy. You must have really done well on the Zoom.
Yeah.
You don't have a shitty internet connection. I'll tell you that.
Oh, is that direct?
No. Here's the kicker to the story. I get on Zoom. I'm practicing for an hour, so the camera will come up, the visual, and I'm not good at that shit, eh? And it worked. My wife and I, Susan and I, it worked.
I love it. All right, so because listen, NFL, they do a great job with these referees during the game and with the people who come on. But like the analyst, the official analyst. But you're watching the game, you can kind of see if they get 1 foot in bounds, 2 foot in bounds. You know what they're going to call nowadays when it comes to pass interference. Hockey, it's a little like it's not so black and white. I mean, when a lot of times, as you know, when it goes to review, the viewer at home has no idea which way this is going to go. I mean, it could be a goal, it may be no goal.
Yeah,
it's so confusing for a lot of people. So as an analyst, are you stuck like trying to guess what they're going to call versus what you think is the right or wrong answer? Like, what's your approach with it all?
Well, that was a difficult time in the first few months because I'm coming from the industry after 10 years, sitting in meetings, understanding how this is all going to roll out on video from the inners, from Toronto, from the situation room. And I let that thinking get in the way of my thinking because there's still to today, there's so many decisions made that the on-ice officials don't agree with what was called. I mean, that's just going to be human nature, So I'm sitting there, and TNT wants me to make a decision, right, wrong, or indifferent.
They do. Okay.
They don't care. They just want me to make a decision and explain it real quick to the fans how I got to come to my conclusion. Now, there's a lot of times where Toronto and I aren't on the same page, that we're not on the same page. A lot of times that we are. But that's just the difference between me and them. I'm going sort of the way the rule book says it, verbatim. I know what they should think outside the lines, but I really don't know. That would confuse the fan more if I took it outside the lines. So it's just because there's so many moving parts that you only got 48 seconds, they tell me, to explain it.
Hey, are you ever like something happens and you're like, oh, motherfuck. I have no idea what the hell this is. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm scrambling to find out. Like, that's got to happen. I mean, there's so many different things that go on. Some of the offside stuff, the goalie interference. You're just like, oh, God, what do I do?
The goalie interference ones are the toughest.
Yeah, I figured that.
Because there's so many there's so many different ways that can go. What I do know, I know the rules. What I do get a little nervous about is when it comes to a situation that's really, really, really close, like around the net, goalie interference. That's the one that's really the toughest because it can go anyway. That's the one that I get a little nervous about when I'm making the decision. But you know what? It doesn't matter if I say to Gretz is over me all the time. He calls me for the season. He says, Cole, they're paying you money and you haven't got one right yet.
I know.
I haven't either.
99 calls me Ofer. So my recourse to them, I said, Gretz, how do you know that Toronto hasn't gotten it fucking right this time?
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's my comeback. How do you know Toronto hasn't gotten it right this time?
Exactly.
So it's just how you're viewing it. Because I talk to players, and Cam, when you played, if you're around the net, especially today's game, if I was coaching and a player put his stick on me and I seen the D-man going to take a shot, and I'm between the player and the goaltender, he's not boxing me out, and you put a stick on me that's relatively hard but not bad, I'm going to fall towards the goalie. I'm going to fall south.
Yeah, I mean,
they're asked to go east or west or battle back to show that you're avoiding the goalie. This is just one scenario. But, of course, I'm going to fall on the goalie, roll the dice on a 50-50.
Kadri style?
Like, yeah, what do you think of Kadri?
Yeah.
What do you think of Kadri?
Yeah, the old days. The old days, that's what they did.
Yeah,
and that's what they're still doing. They're getting better at it because now it looks like they lost the battle of the defenseman. And now it's almost become a 60-40 chance that goal is going to stand.
Yeah, they know
50-50, but now it's 60-40.
60-40.
So why wouldn't you take the chance?
They know in the certain situations that they could just let loose and fall into a goalie because maybe the D kind of pushed you a little bit. You're going to get away
Corey
from
Perry, Kadri.
Corey Perry did the same
goddamn
thing.
They're the kings at it.
Barbie kind of bumped in there.
Yeah, they're
the kings at it. They
love Barbie.
They know when to do it. I've had clips where I've looked at where they're looking out the corner of their eye. They see the shot coming. They go to the D-man to create contact, and then they fall or spin into the goaltender, and the puck's in the net.
Okay, so is there somebody in your ear that's walking you along with the video? Like, does a producer, or do you hear anything, or are you getting any information that we're not getting at home, or if we're at the game or whatever, that you're getting from the situation room directly?
No.
Do you have that direct communication?
No.
So you don't know what the call is going to be before they announce it on television, but what about, like, do you feel like you're getting the help in your ear to kind of walk you along? Are they telling you what to say? Or, like, are you just are you sometimes just completely baffled? Like, you don't know how, like, if you're forced to make a decision, hey, you got to say one way or another. Like, that kind of puts you in a tough spot, right?
Does.
Well, yeah, but that's what they're paying me to do.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
That's cool.
In my experience, but all I have is an earpiece in my ear to my producer. I have no allegiance to the National Hockey League. I'm employed by TNT Turner Media.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I work for. And the producer, I'll either call back button and say, hey, Brownie, I can help you on this play. Or Brownie can say, Koho, we're bringing you in. And they'll usually show me a replay on the screen in front of me as they're bringing me in, or Jonesy or Eddie Olchuk or Kenny Albert, one of them, Panger, are bringing me in. Then they'll bring me in, and at least I'll see it once or twice to prepare myself to walk the fans, the viewers through it, and then I'll make my final decision, whether I agree with the referees, whether I agreed with Toronto. It's just me. That's me putting my nuts on the line.
Yeah, well, let me I will say this.
TV's not easy, by the way.
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
But I would rather you have a take. Like, tell me if you think it's going to be a good goal or no goal, even if you're wrong, Koho, versus just spend 45 seconds to a minute telling us what the rule is and what exactly they're looking at. I want to know your opinion and what you think and how they're going to rule it.
And that's what they asked me to do. And it took me, like I said, about a month into it. And I finally got the answer to my question. I said, as corporate, what allegiance do we have to the National Hockey League? And they said, you have nothing. You work for us, and if they don't like something you say on TV, you'll never hear about it. We'll take care of it in-house.
Wow.
And if they call you personally, you please let us know. So that just put me in a comfort zone the rest of the season.
Right. Let me ask you this.
And then I still got work to do, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And TV is very difficult. I always start sweating right off the goddamn bat. It's radio's a lot easier. Here's the deal, though. Let me ask you this. Any rule going on right now, Koho, that you look at and you're like, God, let's get this thing out of there. Like any weird call or anything that pops in your head.
No, you know what? I got to say, the league has done a real good job on addressing all that shit. I mean, we have those calls now. If it's it's called a miscalled game event. You know, a puck goes like that one game in Tampa. We had two of them back to back where nobody saw the centerman hand pass the puck on a face-off, which should have been a penalty.
Yep.
And then they scored in a one-timer. That's a missed game event. That's not a coach's challenge. Toronto initiates that. I mean, yeah. And then the one over the net, the netting and all that, those are missed game events. So those are reviewable. Coaches can call a thing, and they got to say, what do you call for them? Well, I'm calling it for a missed game event. And those ones there took 7, 8, 9 minutes. The one with the netting where the puck went out of play, that one took forever.
Yeah.
I know.
No whistle.
Buzzkill.
But the right call was done.
Yeah, I get
it's
you.
all about it's all about getting it right.
In San Jose in 2018 and 2019, that's where those calls come from.
Yeah.
And we had guys miss the high stick the puck that ended up going in the net for a goal in San Jose series. And then another San Jose series, the puck come off the back net and come down and they scored. San Jose's out of the playoffs. Cost them millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, I know. But you can't wait 8 minutes to figure that out, too. Like, you got to find a way to get the cameras in place to speed the fucking shit up. But even, like, the offsides call, remember it was like if your leg's elevated, now it could – they changed that. But for a bit there, it just got fucking goofy.
Do you like it when – like Wes McCauley is trying to put on a show for the fans at home? Like – because you're an old school guy. I can't imagine like somebody doing that back in your era, and it was like, everyone would be like, ha, 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 that's great. Like, what? Give me your honest take on it.
Well, I was a bit of a showmanship, too.
Okay.
I like to light it up a little bit, too, and do something crazy.
Yeah, but you weren't mic'd. No. You weren't mic'd back then.
Well,
I love everything Wes McCauley does. I love when Kelly Sutherland are talking to two centermen, knowing that he's on TV in Lake Tahoe, wishing them luck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And having some fun with them. That's the old school way. That's how we built relationships and rapport with players.
Yeah.
I get you.
They get a chance to talk to you, and you're not stuffy. They know you care about the game. They care about your safety. I still like that, the fighting signal and his delays on whether it's a goal or no goal. Those are awesome.
Okay, good.
Those viewers are sitting on they're peeing their pants. They're sitting on their hands going, fuck, will you hurry up and tell us what it is? Then he just farts out, no. We got a good goal.
If you're talking about the refs after the game, it's never a good thing. But when you're talking about stuff like that, I like it, man. But usually when you're a ref, though, you kind of want to hide throughout the game. If no one's talking about you, it's been pretty smooth.
That's Wes McCauley's go-to line. I would, because his dad was my mentor, a friend of mine when I got into the business, and his dad was my boss. I worked with his dad on the ice. We both coached lacrosse. We both emptied benches when we coached lacrosse. And he was a mentor of mine. And Wes, his first 43 games in the NHL, he worked with me.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
When he was still doing a 2-way contract.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got a lot of time for what Wes does. And I think more of our guys should do it. But then again, it gets back to that experience part of it and that comfort zone that you're comfortable in your own skin to do it.
All right, a couple things.
And it's entertaining.
Yeah.
The fans love it. Yeah. And his favorite line is, I'd say, Wes, how the game go last night? You didn't get a chance to look at it. He says, Koho, they're not talking about us today.
There you go.
Good.
That's his favorite line. That's his go-to line.
Yeah, a couple more things, and we're going to let you go. So what happened? Like, when you said, what'd you say, holy shit?
Yeah, you can buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, I want to talk about how people can get the T-shirts. So, holy shit, you say that, and then it just like naturally came out. Did you get any blowback from that or no?
No, I was. How it all played out is when I'm in my booth, there's a camera that's on me. The only camera that's on me now, that may change next year, in my booth is from the producer's truck. So if I eat popcorn, he's yelling at me, "Don't eat popcorn." If I'm picking my nose and rolling it, he said, "Quit picking your nose and rolling." He's the only guy that can see me.
Okay.
And if my mic is up over my head because I've had some popcorn, he's the one in my ear saying, "Put your microphone down in case we need to come to you." So on this play, I thought the game was over. What I saw was the stick. So my first thought process was the height of the crossbar.
Mm-hmm.
That was just my first thinking process, but that only comes into play if the puck goes directly into the net. So as soon as I seen it hit the goalie's pad from where he hit it, I'm going, oh yeah, this is non-starter, non-issue. So I took my headset off because the game's over. And I hear the producer, I had my headset, he's on a call, "Put your set back on." So I put my headset back on. And he says, "You got to look at this. We're coming to you. They're talking about it." And it was maybe a combination of me seeing them spend time talking about it on the ice and him yelling at me. I put my headset on now that I think about it and talk aloud about it. So I put it back on, and I'm watching it break down on my screen, and I'm explaining, okay, watch where the puck hits the stick. It's, on this play, because it hits the goalie's pad, it didn't go directly in net, crossbars out of play. This is about a high stick and a player picking it up after a high stick. So here's the stick, here's this, abnormal height to showing, going, holy shit, this is closer than I thought it was.
It just came out.
Yeah,
but nobody,
their emotions just come out.
But nobody said anything, right? No negative feedback, right, from that.
No, and then so the show's over. I go to the green room. I see, and all our big bosses from TNT are there. And I go, listen, I profusely apologized. We got 1.2 million viewers or 1.4 million viewers that night. And I go, I apologize. That was just raw emotions. I said, I don't know what we do. And they said, Koho, what we loved about it, you come from your heart, your sleeve, and your emotions. He says, then they said it's not bad television.
Okay, good.
And I went, oh,
it's
thanks,
not.
fuck.
And it's cable.
Because it's not. And TNT's cool.
They
let a lot of shit go down. They're the coolest thing going.
Our show is the coolest show on earth. I don't care. I'd argue that with anybody.
Yeah, man.
The way Biz and Gretz and Talkit and Anson and Liam and
Donnie,
the way they snap it around, and our post-game shows and our pre-game shows. God. There's so much energy with these guys. It's off the rails.
It is. It's pure entertainment, and they get that, and it's very noticeable compared to maybe a couple other ones. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Jim Schoenfeld incident. Of course, we got to ask you about that. So,
listen, you guys appreciate this. Let me finish that story.
Yeah,
you'll appreciate it because you're in radio.
Yeah,
you're in broadcasting. So at the end of the show, the next day, I'm chartering back on the TNT charter from Edmonton to Atlanta to get home, because next year we work the finals.
Mm-hmm.
This year we didn't, but we get the finals next year. TNT does. So I'm on the plane, and Taryn, 1 or 2 in charge, right up there in the top 2 anyway. She reads something from Reddit, and it's going. I'm going, oh God, here we go. She reads it, and then at the end of the thing on Reddit says, and the TNT post-game show, after the comments by Rules Analyst Don Koharski, grew 400,000 viewers.
Yeah.
Because it was all over social media.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Damn right.
So
bring it.
Okay,
so then the champagne come out, and the mimosas, and then I knew that I was okay with what I did the night before.
You're all good.
Hey,
man.
do it again now. You got to follow that up.
The greatest, the easiest people to work for. And,
I love it.
I hope they have me back. So.
And that's why they're going to be successful. Because they get the game.
Oh, yeah.
Be entertaining.
Well, they just they get that.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
Sure,
they
100%. Yeah, the entertaining.
They're awesome.
And you got to be entertaining. Jim Schoenfeld. Okay, first off, you talk about embellishing. Did he really knock you over there? Like, what's the real story there? He kind of pushed you a little bit, I guess, maybe. But how much extra did you give that Koho back in the day?
I tell everybody, I do public speaking. There's one person who'll know the true story to that ending, and she's inside right now, I think, throwing some lunch together for us. My wife.
Oh, yeah.
But all I can say is that back in the 35 years ago, there wasn't much diving going on. So that's all I can say.
Oh. So you're saying he really pushed you over?
Andy, though,
there wasn't. No, the carpet, the rubber matting is slippery too. I mean, that could with the crowd. I don't know what really happened there that night.
Okay, Koho. I know exactly where you're going with this. All right, did it hurt your?
He's a good buddy of mine. I love Shoney.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Man.
You know what TNT did one night? We just happened to be on air. We had NHL of the week, and it was the actual day 35 years ago that situation happened.
Yeah,
I know.
So
I saw that.
they called me down. Did you see the celebration they did?
No.
For me. Yeah, they called me down on my booth. I'm in Atlanta in the studios. Called me down. I thought I was going to do a demo on slashing the ticky-tack slashes that Gretzky hates.
Yeah.
And the one on the sticks where they drop their hands or they drop their stick to draw a penalty.
Right.
Gretz hates those. That's his pet peeves.
Right.
I thought we were doing a demo on that, so they called me down. Now, my contract didn't call for any demos. I was a rules analyst sitting in my little booth talking about rules. So, but they call me down. So they get me in studio in the intermission. All the guys are there. Then all of a sudden, the clip of Shoney and I come on. And then on the big screens behind me are me floating donuts, happy 35th anniversary, Koho. So they did a whole thing on a block in the intermission on me. But the kicker to the story is I'm not 10 paces walking with Anson Carter, and I get a beep on my phone. And on the beep, the message, I read a text message, says, "Hey, bud, great show. It's your old pal. Happy anniversary. Glad to see your TV. You're doing well. Your buddy Shoney. Have a great rest of the show."
Wow,
I wasn't 10 paces off, and Shoney reached out to me with a text.
I love
it's
it.
all, you look back on it,
That's what it's all about.
dude. Yes,
That's
man.
what it's all about.
Aren't you selling T-shirts for that too? Have another donut?
Do it.
Well, I what I did for fun, a buddy of mine's a T-shirt guy where I live at the country club. He suggested, "Why don't you throw out a T-shirt?" I said, "Well, I was told I missed the boat 35 years ago. Should have opened up Koho's donut shop, and the O's should have been donuts in Koho's."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Myers told me that 35 years ago, and I didn't think it was the right thing to do. So this time he said, let me throw a T-shirt together. He says, and we'll buy the domain Fat Pig Apparel, F-A-T, Fat Pig Apparel, and we'll combine the old brand with maybe what could be a new brand. Holy shit. So he did that, and I was supposed to send you guys a couple of T-shirts. I've just been so busy, and we've had fun with it. It's not anything, if it's going to hurt anybody, it'd be me. But the Owen Holy is the Bob's Burgers donut, pink. The hockey stick is the L is a hockey stick with Koho on it. And we're just having some fun with it, family and friends, and it's really taken off a little bit. So we're just having fun with it. It'll probably die in another month.
Where can people get one? Yeah. Where can they get one?
You go to fatpigapparel.com.
Oh, that's easy.
Fatpigapparel.com.
Hey, but when he did call you a fat pig, though, were you like, "You motherfucker"? Like after a while,
because it's everywhere.
Like after a while, were you like, and you're seeing it's blowing up, you're like, "God damn it."
No, I mean, you could hear what I said to him. I told him I was going to get him fucking fired. He'd be thrown out of the fucking league.
You're done.
You're done.
Oh, no, we went hard at it.
Oh, dude. I know Continental Airlines.
In the next game, right, the officials, they boycotted like an hour before the game. They're trying to find referees. Jesus. They get some like random people to come officiate the game. The game gets out of control. There's fights everywhere. Like, did you appreciate the other officials for having your back?
No, they had to get started. Listen, the game, everybody says the game's not going to go on if the officials don't show up. Well, 35 years ago is living proof at the best level, best hockey ever, that the game will go on. They'll find a way to make it go on. I felt bad for the guys that were put in that position. They were put in there with a bullet and a gun to their head. It was the off-ice officials. They had the red and yellow practice jerseys on. Some of them are still around today, still working in Jersey. But they were told, by John McCauley, God rest his soul, too. He left us way too early. He was told, the goaltenders were told that night that if those guys, the referee puts up his arm, you look at him in the penalty box. He'll have the door open, and he'll tell you either to go to the bench or go back to the net. And he was yelling at the referees to put their arms down. That wasn't a penalty. So he's actually refereeing in his suit from the penalty box.
Oh my God!
Listen, we can look back and laugh at it. It was a black mark for the National Hockey League, and it's 35 years later. In hindsight, we sit back, but you turn that negative into positives, and the positive I take away from it, and I admire the National Hockey League for their security in our buildings now since that day. They took security a whole lot serious. They created a security department, security heads, hired 2 or 3 police officers in each city, detectives in each one of our cities. And today, I like to say, as a result of a real bad situation, we have by far the best security in any pro sports in the world.
Wow. Okay.
So, you spin into that, so something good come from it. And the crazy thing about that story, other than Wayne's Worlds and all the other names that Like I was officer. There was an officer Koharski in the movie Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
That hung around.
That's
hung
right.
around Stan Mikita's donut shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, and I tell young kids, I tell anybody in a walk of life, you got to have three things: thick skin. I don't care if you're selling tiles or windows or you're refereeing or playing. Thick skin, good sense of humor, and a short memory. And you'll succeed for a long time in that industry if you want to. I really believe that, because that could have rocked me. That could have been the end of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was just that was my second year in the National Hockey League as a full-time referee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was just a year before I come up, and that was my second year, so I was 30 years old. Like, they're not hiring guys now until they're 28, 29, 30. So that could have personally rocked me and ruined me. But what John McCauley does 6 days later, I go in and work Game 7 in Boston in the same series.
Yeah.
In the same series. Unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
I went right into Boston and worked Game 7.
Yeah,
And that you should have seen the papers that day.
Man.
All these referees and linesmen now, they're all jacked, by the way.
They are. They're getting jacked.
Oh, my God.
They
I mean, I see them, like, working out. When I'm down below, like, you know, we're getting ready for
Well,
our
they're all jacked compared to you, Andy.
we're getting ready for our broadcast down below, and I see these guys working out.
Yeah.
Like, that is a mandate now, isn't it?
Oh, and it's natural, too. These guys are training right now for camp in September. Some of their fitness testing is better than some of the players' fitness testing.
I believe it.
Because the guys that test them are Buffalo and Toronto people. And those guys will say on occasion, some of your guys are testing better than some of our players.
Oh, damn.
I'm sure.
But you know what, Cam? They're bringing in fucking milkshake things with them now and protein drinks. I always had the rookies bring in 24 beers with us.
I know.
It's going in your room because I'm not waking up to that mess in the morning after a game.
When I first came in though, it was like starting the older guys are like weeding out, and then all the healthy stuff, which is good, but you can't even.
That's good because that's what the game demands now. The game demands that.
You can't get away with it.
It's not the right after practice, go to sushi, eat at sushi, and keep drinking until 9 o'clock at night, and then the older guys go to bed, and the young guys stay out. That doesn't happen anymore, and rightfully so. Too much money on the line. You got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Stay healthy.
And it's so competitive.
Yep. Exactly.
You know, you're not in the gym, and nowadays you don't have a personal trainer as a 12-year-old kid that's playing AAA. If you don't have a personal trainer and a nutritionalist and a off-road guy, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just the way our culture on and off the ice.
I see it, man.
Andy's their personal trainer, which is very unfortunate.
No, they've all got skills. They've all got skills coaches, Koho, and they've all got personal trainers. Shit. They've got more shit. And you know what? Like, listen, a lot of these programs, and I was talking about something about this with somebody the other day. Some of these AAA programs, even in Toronto, for example, the coaches will have them come in during the offseason to weigh in and to do some testing during the offseason to make sure they're not getting all out of shape during the summertime. So,
what's going to happen to those? You know what's going to happen to those kids that don't make it? They're going to grow up and hate their parents.
Oh,
the kids that don't make it, yeah,
because they missed that childhood.
I know.
Yeah, but they're still having fun too.
Like no. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, like,
I'm just kidding.
If your parents force you to do it,
that pro players are,
But some parents force their kid to be something, and they're just not into it and stuff like.
But
they get weeded out.
These parents and these kids they're painted in a corner, or pushed in a corner where there's no other option. Well, everybody else is doing it. How do we not do it?
Yeah, I know.
And if you're not doing it, then all of a sudden, like, people are placing judgment on you, like you're not committed.
Exactly. Well, I don't have money right now.
I know, man. It's crazy. Hockey is so expensive.
Anyway, Donnie, you're the man, dude. Just so you know, you're the man, dude.
Yeah,
this has been a great.
Let's sell some T-shirts, and we want some of those too.
Yeah, hook us up. Andy steals all my T-shirts that we get for free.
Not true. Not true.
I'll get my guy there. I'll get you down.
Hey, we're coming to Halifax too.
I'm going to Halifax.
I'm going to Tampa. I ain't going to Halifax.
Oh, I thought you were bringing the show.
What's the?
You're gonna come here.
What's the golf course though? Is it Cabot, or the famous one? Cabot Links. Dude, we talked about that the other day. Yeah. And I've been getting so many messages from people sending me pictures of whatever golf pro. They all listen, and the people who work there.
I love it. So, you know, in the mainland in Nova Scotia, we got Fox Harbor, which is Ron Joyce's, Tim Hortons guy.
Mm-hmm.
His golf courses own jet ports, landing strips, stays and plays, tennis, skeet shooting. I mean, it's golf down here is in Atlantic Canada's taken over from the North.
And you want to go skeet shooting?
It's at the
and you want to go skeet shooting?
Go hiking.
I don't know if he knows.
Go
how to
swimming on the beach. Hey, great stuff, man. I appreciate
it.
We appreciate you coming on for sure.
Tell
Koho.
Jamie and Terry I said
shit.
What's up, and they've always been great to me. Just so they know, man.
Well,
you know how it is.
You had to be pretty fair to them too, Cam, for them to do that. So.
I always want to respect them. All you guys. You guys are great to me.
All right, boys.
Okay,
Big Don.
All the best, Koho.
All right.
You're the man, dude.
Enjoy the week.
Okay,
buddy.
Take care. The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
All right, that was Don Koharski, man. They call him Koho.
Yeah.
Television personality, longtime official, Cam, if you didn't know that.
Always great to me.
Yeah.
Always great.
Oh, you know him. You know who he is.
Oh, did he ref you growing up, Andy? I had his whole family ref
probably
me.
Did.
They were always great, but I was good to them. I always said to be nice to the refs, and I always was.
Yeah.
They always gave me the warning.
Mm-hmm. He had an opinion or two on some people.
A couple things, didn't he?
Would you buy one of those T-shirts? What is it like?
I probably wouldn't.
Like Fat Pig Productions or something like that.
I usually get those for free. You know.
Yeah.
So do you.
Yeah.
So are you kidding?
Well, would you get one? Encourage people to go get one.
Well, yeah, you're like, if you're going to buy one, I'm like, no, he's sending me free ones.
TNT, man, the bosses sound cool as hell over there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
They're like,
badass.
hey, we want you to be you.
That's why they're successful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
They're not like, do this. Talk about, no, just go do your shit.
Do your stuff, yeah. Phenomenal people over there. And we appreciate Koho for coming on with us. The game has changed over the years, man. Even the old school officials like the old school hockey better.
Yeah, I know. I don't like the hooking and clutching.
I don't like that.
That was stupid. Like, even the guys are getting whacked and like, I take that out. They should have took that out in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 90s would have been the best kind of, still got the heavies in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll sped the game up. But, like, you know, it sped the game up so much, but Bugard was still in the league, and all those heavyweights are still in the league after 2004. Monsters, dude. McGrattan. You just had to, you could still get around.
How many years was he still in the league with you? I shouldn't even ask you that because you won't remember.
He was in 2000. I think he was.
When he retired, like 04, maybe around then?
No,
06?
I think 2006.
Yeah, he did come back after the lockout.
Yep. 2007. But Jamie would, since I was a kid, there's funny videos of me fighting on YouTube when I was playing in the North American Hockey League for the Sting. And I would fight guys, and Jamie Koharski's right there trying to ref it. It's so funny, dude.
You know, people will chirp the officials for how they handle the stuff like on the spot on television, but that's not easy, dude, to do that.
Dude, I would hate that.
Could you imagine if that was you?
I wouldn't do it. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not good enough to do anything anyway. But I'm just saying, like, I'd rather just do shit like this. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I could handle that. Like
the pressure on the spot.
Being on, like, how's my face?
All right, Cam, let's go to you now live.
Look,
was it a goal or no?
I'm an entertainer, dude. I'm an entertainer, but I'm an entertainer. I'm not I don't want to be a.
No.
I gotta precisely. Break,
but I will say, like, I mean, I think it was a learning experience because it was new in hockey to have a rules analyst on television, and you just got to take a book out of the NFL. They do it the best. The mics work for the referees. They get out there. They explain what the deal is. You know, some referees in the NHL are better than others, but the rules analysts, you know, they pretty much get it right all the time. Yeah. Don't tell us what the rule is. I mean, you can kind of work that in, but don't make that be the entirety of your appearance when you come on when there's like a controversial call or there's a review that's going on. Let us know what you think. Even if you're wrong,
Yeah,
man. And I know people want to chirp you for being wrong, but a lot of people sitting at home are wrong too. You may think it's going to be a goal and they call it the other way.
Or Toronto might
I
be wrong.
want to hear your opinion right off the bat.
Yeah, I get you. I get that, man. It is a tough job.
But hey, you're getting paid to do it,
Fuck
right?
Yeah,
And
cool.
Koho does a good job.
And Koho's
you can
cool,
tell the
too.
guys like him.
Yeah, dude. He's old school, chill, awesome.
Yeah.
He gets respected, and he knows who the cool cats are.
You know, I'll never forget when I was doing all the interviews during the alumni game here in St. Louis prior to the Winter Classic back in like 2016.
Yeah.
And I was in the penalty box, I was on the bench and whatever, but he officiated the alumni game here in St. Louis. And Gretzky was like sitting in the penalty box beforehand. And you had Brett Hull and all these other guys, man. I mean, just true legends.
Just the best
Adam
thing.
Oates.
God,
Dude,
how
he's
awesome.
just shooting the shit with the
I
guy.
know.
I could tell right then and there just what that relationship
Isn't
was
that-
like,
I
man. You know, I could see it right off the bat, Cam.
I know. I would watch film of just every moment of all those guys' interaction.
Yeah.
They did a clip. I remember looking on YouTube, and I told you guys, I just look up. I'm fucking psycho. But there's a clip of Andy Van Hellemond back in the day.
One of the best ever.
Mic'd up back in the fucking 80s where there's hardcore shit going down, and he was so fucking awesome. Everything he said was cool, and like fucking, if he said that to you, you're like, God, that was perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, check that out, dude.
Yeah, I will.
Check all that shit
Yes,
out.
check
It's really, really
check
interesting.
all of it out.
I wish they had more mic'd up shit that worked. I had all these hockey fight videos back in the day, Andy. My dad would find these old school
Yeah, the Rock'em Sock'em videos.
I know we had that.
Yeah,
we
but the
had
Craig Cox type stuff.
The
whatever.
weird VHS from my uncle, who was such a crazy, who had cable that had a system where you could watch every game, and like he would. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And I got obsessed with it.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to my boy Lukey Cunnin, man. I know people because he got traded to San Jose. And I think this is going to be a good situation for him. I don't think they really kind of like let him showcase his full package that he has offensively there in Nashville. Although he was, sometimes he's playing with good players, played with good players a lot actually. But, just in terms of like the style and the system that they have implemented, what they were asking him to do, his minutes were kind of all over the place. I think going to a team with lesser expectations, they've got good players there still in San Jose. I don't think they're going to be very good, but you still have, Logan Couture and Tomas Hertl and Timo Meier and all these guys, man. They still have some good players for him to learn from. And hopefully he gets an opportunity to kind of, be freed up a little bit and just do his thing offensively. Getting moved from Minnesota to Nashville was a hockey trade. So people are like, oh, he's on his third team. Yeah, but that was a hockey trade the first time, So this is another opportunity, man. He's still in the league, and he's got a lot of room to still grow as a player.
How old is he?
He's a 97 birth year.
23?
So 23, 24, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
So we'll see how that plays out. That John Klingberg, man, I'd love to get my hands on him, though. Whoever gets him is going to have a hell of a player. He's going to be available.
He controls the game.
Yes.
Like coming around in net and shit.
Oh,
like
he
he's
does.
long and shit.
He's got that 10 and 2.
Walking that back line.
Oh,
yeah. Gets shots through.
Yeah.
I like him, man.
I do, too. He
No
kind of
teeth.
he was in a weird situation. Was it last year where he had, like, no goals for, like, several games to start the season or something? And just didn't really.
Klingberg? But he's still doing things.
Exactly.
Like, he's got the puck around the net.
He and Matthew Tkachuk were going at it in the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember that. No, the Matthew fucking caught him.
He did. He did.
I mean, all right.
Evander Kane, man, I would never.
Oh, God, I hated seeing these videos, dude. I know I was like, who gives a fuck about him? I'm just saying, dudes, like, sometimes.
I'm going to have to watch that
Andy,
video.
I'm going to have to fucking unfollow her. I can't do it anymore.
It's like Billy Tibbetts.
I
You like
can't
watching him
Yeah,
on.
he's fucking hilarious. And they're crazy. I love Billy, dude. He's I know
he's funny, man. He's
funny. I love everybody.
Yeah.
But this chick, dude, I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah.
I feel now like I'm looking at him like, oh fuck. Like I kind of want to reach out to him, and be like, you all right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not.
Oh, Kaner.
Yeah, kind of.
Reach out.
Like what? You all right, homie? Like what? Like he's. I don't
Yeah.
know, dude,
I'm with you.
I'm like it's a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nightmare. Ugh, fuck.
Well, again, it goes back to what I said in our intro. Don't be getting. You better be careful. You better be careful because you never know what situation you're getting caught up in.
And you know what? You cheat on your chick, dude. Shit gets weird and weird. Girls are turn a 180 on you in a psycho way, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And just like if she did it to you, would you be like, get the fuck away from me? I don't care who you are. I'm done with you. Like I would be Nutville on it. Imagine her on you. Like Not saying he did it. It's everything. I'm just saying, like, you do that. I used to, God, it's so bad sometimes.
But the bankruptcy and all that stuff is a completely separate issue.
Separate, dude. Right? I don't even know about that. I'm saying, like, but all
relationship.
You guys, I'm giving you relationship advice. Like, if you like, fuck, well, I'm fucking cool. My bro's are like, no, man. They're not. They're gonna know if you're sniffing around too much. Mm-hmm. They're gonna find out, and once you get caught with something,
it's over.
It's not over. Maybe not over. But if you do something stupid, you're reset. Mm-hmm. Meaning now every time you go with the boys, she's gonna be like, well, where are you going? Mm-hmm. Because right before that, she gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Trust.
You lose it so fucking fast. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you. Yeah. And it'll make your life more miserable. Like you cannot believe. It's not worth it. Beat your dick off.
You said something.
Beat your dick off.
Oh, what? You can't say that. You just cannot say that.
I know there's women listening.
That is terrible advice.
No, wait, Brody. Let me explain myself.
That is terrible advice.
Stop. Let me explain myself. All the women out there, I love y'all. I'm sorry.
And they're listening to this.
I know they are. 24% of them. Listen.
It went up. It went up since last week.
Oh, my God. Okay, here's the deal. I'm talking about the men. Sometimes you're like, I gotta have something. Just remember, like, go home and beat your dick off sometimes. Okay. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, thank God I did. I'm just saying.
We don't. That is just completely
it for you at times, Andy. It does. All right. Sorry. Maybe that was a little too much.
That's your medicine advice.
Well, sometimes you got to just.
I mean, I can understand if you say get your mind right or maybe get on the boat or something like that.
That is your mind right in a way. Like you don't want to have that control you.
Correct. Which you can.
It can control your life. I've played
but you've said this before. Yeah, you said that before too, but I'm not talking about that.
There's a reason for it.
I am not talking about that. But you know what? There's something about being with a woman who you've been with for a long time who knows everything about you. I know. You know what I'm saying?
You think
knows your story, knows where you came from, knows you before
loves you unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
Like if Kate and I'll say it, I don't care. I'm always honest with everything with shit.
But you are wearing a short sleeve shirt with a hood on it.
Like a goddamn
with a hood on the short sleeve t-shirt with a hood. I got
free fucking clothes. Okay. Here's the deal. If Kate broke up with me because I fucked up, I would be fucked. And Andy, it would affect your life. Brody, it would affect your life because I would be so fucked up and I would be in a fucking weird jam. I would. I'd be in a weird fucking jam. Yeah. Like, she knows.
Well, don't be doing all that.
I don't do anything.
Take her on vacation.
Andy, I don't do anything. She knows everything about my life, everything. And she's like, dude, I can't get get on with yourself.
Take her on vacation.
I don't do it. I don't go weird places. Like, my buddies get to do shit.
Well, if you were in Montreal, maybe you would.
But Kate and I are best friends, so we can go party together, and I don't need to be away from her to go have fun. I can do what the fuck I want.
I'm the same way.
I just can't sniff around with women.
But that's what I mean. Like, sometimes, you're alone in that hotel. I like having my best friend with me.
I've been getting down with a Kate.
I like having my best friend with me.
Like, I'm trying to, I'm getting down with it. We've been having fun. And sometimes you go through the waves with your wife where I'm like really horny, for a week. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, whatever, you go through the waves. Everybody does that.
You're married, man. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, man. But Kate and I, we have fun together. She's my best friend. She really is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she is. She is. She absolutely is.
We have
you
fun
guys, you take her to El Monstero and stuff like that.
Oh, we got down. I'm not even going to explain what we do.
Okay, yeah.
But that was fun.
You get your mind right at that.
In a good, different kind of way. And it's just, that crowd has different things. And
who are you most excited to see in free agents? Who are you most excited to see in free agents? Give me 3 names.
Who?
Give me 3 names.
Man, I don't know.
Give me 3 names. Who you want to see where they end up?
The Brinket.
He's right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now you're going to post this? And I don't know.
Just come on. Give me 3 names.
That in free agency right now?
What you got?
Who's up right now? I don't know, Andy, to be honest with you.
Give me 3 names. Klingberg, Kane, Kadri, Kemper.
Oh, yeah, Kadri's up there. Kemper. Why don't you give me the names and I'll explain what about them?
Yeah, okay.
Is this like a test we're doing?
Evgeny Malkin.
Oh, Malkin, too. What do you think he's going to want?
I don't know. Well, he probably wants like 6-7 million. He probably wants that 6 million. Probably something. I imagine teams 34 or 35, I think.
Yeah, he's getting older.
Teams want to pay those guys in that $5 million range who can still produce.
Was he with Ovi's draft?
Like, listen, you've made so much money. Do you really have to, like,
you want to leave?
Hit the jackpot?
Well, they might want to go to Florida.
Dude, these NBA players, they sign like 2-year deals for $130 million.
Isn't that, well, there's 5 people.
I may have Ty start playing basketball, dude. I may have to have him start
I'm looking
playing.
at your athleticism. That ain't gonna happen.
I may have to have him start taking basketball lessons.
I don't know. So who else is a free agent?
I just gave you a bunch.
Give me another one. What did you say?
Klingberg.
Klingberg. I like him. Who else? Oh, you said
Burakovsky.
Hey, here's the thing.
I like that Burakovsky
sort of
too.
Fucking right, but Nazem Kadri is going to want because he's at the peak.
Does he
of the
still
peak.
annoy you?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does. Yeah, I just know his style, but like he's at the peak of his
peak.
peakness, and then he's going to get more money. You're going to overpay him.
I know.
Dude.
Oh
So it's
yeah,
just
they
like,
all
what do
get
you do?
overpaid.
Well, he's going to really get overpaid after what he just did.
Hey, listen, like people are like, oh, Edmonton's lowballing Evander Kane.
Can I
well,
say
no
something?
shit.
Can I say something about the Blues?
They want to get him at a bargain price. Yeah, go ahead.
I wish the Blues would have tried to get that fucking Zach Cassian somehow.
Yeah, I know.
God damn.
I know. It was a good pickup for
I
Arizona,
know.
even though
And so Zach's
they're
probably
bad.
like, oh, Zach's going to Cass is fucking awesome, by the way. I like the way he plays. He's perfect for, like, Berube.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, what did they get for him? Like, God, I would have fucking snagged his ass up.
I know.
Perfect.
I like
that
Cassian.
Blues team, dude.
I like Cassian.
He could skate. He hits.
Kinda
You could put him on a third line.
I think he looks scarier than he is, though.
Yeah, but he hits.
He does hit.
He's a lefty, too.
And when he gets pissed, he'll take care of it.
He'll hit.
Yeah,
He'll
take care of
fucking
business.
He'll beat up Matthew and fucking hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have. I know.
No, he just kind of has that
Why
look
is
to
he
him.
there?
I don't know. We got to talk to him. Well, we got to get him on.
Sober, too.
Is he?
I mean, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he is.
Let's get him on.
Patty,
Let's
yeah.
talk to him about it.
I want to get him on the podcast. 100%.
All right. Let's get him on.
God, now I'm thinking.
All right. Listen, I got to go home and make my steak, dude.
Oh, I'm starving.
I got some rub. I came up with my own rub and everything like that. So I'm rubbing it all over the place.
Right.
I'm just rubbing all over it. Do you know that? Listen, our listeners, dude. Somebody messaged me. I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Yesterday, that they live in Hilton Head year round, and his daughter works at the resort where we stayed. He's like, I wish I would have known.
Oh,
I
love
There's
that.
people everywhere, dude.
I know.
They're all over the place.
Well, I want to take care of them. So
a big shout out to that guy.
If we're ever anywhere where you guys are at, like let us fucking know. I want to say, hey.
Oh,
like we're like that. Like I like that. If
and-
I had the money, just so all y'all know,
yeah.
I would take all the fans and have some sort of fly them everywhere and have a party. If I had a ton of money, I would do that.
And people who were at the draft
Yeah, I
in
would.
Montreal, who are listeners
I
of
love
ours,
that,
man,
dude.
reaching out and being
love
like, hey,
that.
can we meet up and take a like? Really, I love the connection we have with the listeners, man.
Yeah.
We'd be nothing without all y'all.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
So know that,
We're here for you, baby.
all y'all.
Yep.
Okay, Cam, this has been the Cam Strick Podcast, brought to you by
Hair Club.
Hair Club, baby. 800-279-7878. Of course, Car Shield, baby. 800-857-2481. Use that promo code CAM, baby. You'll save 10%. We love our friends over there at Car Shield.
God dang.
Just like we do with our friends at Bellman. Danny, Dale. Say what's up to Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
Out there in Troy, Missouri. Go get your new car and get it today. They'll buy your used car, and they accept anybody's credit. So if you're down in the dumps having some credit issues, I understand. But you're going to be taken care of.
fucking happens,
Yeah, yeah.
dude.
Hey, show up to the golf course in style and do it right. Get your waggle on. Get your waggleon.com. Get a waggle golf shirt or get a quarter zip or get a hat. The best style is the best golfer. That's the way it works, man. You can't be showing up looking like a you can't be like looking like a
Well, you can't be
slob.
bad and look like shit.
No, but if you're bad and you look like a real I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It'll like they'll invite you back. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Or they'll maybe have you like MC their luncheon or something like that. Like,
Yeah. If you embarrass yourself on Twitter like Andy did, they'll invite you to do things.
they will absolutely. So get your waggle on, man. I mean, he saw the video and he's like, he wants to be a part of it. We were having, and next time I show up at a golf course, dude, when I'm wearing one of these, man,
people are gonna be like, "Wow, he must be
like
good."
he is good. I've seen the video.
and then they watch him. It's all good.
Get your waggleon.com, baby. Get it today. He's a Minnesota boy too.
I asked him if he was a cake eater.
You did. I didn't like that.
Yeah, but
question.
that was that's
We're having a
representing-
serious. I didn't know what it
know.
meant.
No,
we're having a
it's
serious
Mighty Ducks.
business meeting, and Cam says, "Can I ask you a question? Are you a cake eater?" I'm like, "Oh, he's ruining the deal. I thought you ruined the deal."
Well, I didn't.
He was like, "What am I?" But then
No,
you're telling me that's a Minnesota thing.
Minnesota
okay,
thing.
well, I
cake
wasn't
eater.
sure. I wasn't
Jesus
sure.
Christ!
So,
Well, you're not cool.
I hope he understood that
because you are a cake eater.
I was like, nah, maybe we just mute Cam here for the meeting.
He's gonna be like, that's too much for me. Like you gotta kind of know who I am too. Like I mean, that's not that.
Waggle golf. Zero carb life, Cam. Eat your pizza and do it while you're getting healthy at the same time.
Dang right.
Okay, I got to go home. I got to barbecue my steak. I'm putting some char marks on that. I'm using my own personal rub that I've been making. I've been coming up with my own rub. I'm going to chop some of it up and put it in a salad. I think Ty's going to have a good portion of it.
No one cares.
So I'll send you a picture of that later on today. Zero Carb Life, LYFE. Get your buffalo style or get your beef crumble and order it today and use that promo code Cam Strick, baby. You're going to save some money. Over 70 grams of protein. They call it protein, dude. Over 70 grams of that in the 12-inch.
Dang right.
I mean, they've got everything you're looking for. And, of course, Mars Blade, if you're looking to toe drag cougars.
Toe drag them cougars. That's my line.
Yeah, well.
Because you ain't doing it. Toe drag them cougars.
You know, I go through the triangle is what I do.
Toe drag.
I do. Like when the stick's there, I go through the triangle.
You ain't doing shit.
Forehand, backhand, whatever you got to do.
Sick.
Anyway, Mars Blade, get your rollerblades or get those holders for your ice skates as well. This has been the Cam Strick Podcast, okay? And hey, listen, everybody, follow us on social media, all the channels. Crush that like button, dude, and leave a comment.
Yeah.
We want some comments,
we got
too.
the DMs open, too, if you want to.
Yes, mine are always, my DMs are always open.
Ask Andy about things.
Anything.
But hey, you ask me about
marriage
anything,
advice. I can. There's a lot of things I can do. I'd like to do, Cam, honestly.
Andy, don't waste. It's already been
I
like
would like
hours.
to do like a love connection type show. People call in and give us like love questions. Like if they have an issue with a relationship, we can give them some relationship advice.
I could do that.
Yeah, 100%. So we may do that separately.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you any advice.
So maybe we're going to have a special edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast, giving some relationship advice.
I swear to God.
Yeah, me too.
That sounded corny what you said.
No, but it's very true.
Yeah, but let me say it next time.
No, well, go ahead and say it.
Because when you say it, like, I'll give you love it, like, Andy, no, I'm going to do it.
Go ahead and say it.
But I'm the one that's going to give the advice. But when you say it, it sounded kind of very corny.
I understand that.
Yeah, like,
hey, the Blues have officially named Scott Mellenby as a senior advisor to the general manager as well. So welcome to the team.
Mel's awesome.
Mel's
love
the best.
Him.
He's the
love
best.
Him.
He's the best.
Awesome, dude.
All these teams missing out on him.
What the fuck is that? Kind of pisses me off.
Makes no sense.
Not gonna lie to you.
Makes no sense. But I'm looking to give some relationship. Anybody has any issues, my DMs are always open.
Yeah, mine too.
It's like 7-Eleven, dude. Always open. So hit me up if you want. Okay. Check us out.
Weird.
Check us out on all the social media channels. Follow us today and support our sponsors too.
Yeah, you gotta support. You gotta keep this engine going, guys.
Yes.
Love all y'all.
Yeah. Okay.
I love all
This
y'all.
has been episode number 194 on the Cam and Strick Podcast, baby.